All right, everybody. Let me just double check a couple things here. We should be underway, though. Yes, we are. So, fans, welcome, welcome. We have a huge event happening today. Probably going to be the longest show of the year outside of the World Finals. I don't know if it'll be as long as the show that we did a couple weeks ago for Halloween, but we'll see. We have a very big show today. It is time for the second ever annual BeamNG Monster Jam Thanksgiving All-Star Challenge. So this show, there's 24 trucks and drivers. This is a huge lineup. The stakes are high as well because this show is going to be a big part in determining the lineup for the 2026 BeamNG Monster Jam Destruction Series. So there's a lot on the line here with this one event. And it is a team competition. There are two teams, and we're going to go over all of that stuff right now. So here is your full lineup of 24 trucks. On Team Turkey, we will have Matt, Cody, and Gravedigger, Adam Anderson and Gravedigger the Legend, Blake Granger and Monster Mutt Dalmatian, Brianna Mahon and Whiplash, Cody Saucier and Dragon, Tristan England and Megalodon, Bari Musawwir and Zombie, Armando Castro and Toro Loco, Zack, Garner and Wildside, Chris Kohler and Mayhem, Jim Kohler and Avenger, John Gordon, Bad Company, and that is the full team for Team Turkey. On the other team, we're going to have Team Destruction, which will see Ryan Anderson, son of a digger, Tyler Menega, Gravedigger, Camden Murphy, Classroom Crusher, Bryce Kenny and Monster Mutt, Colt Stevens and Thunder Roris, Cynthia Gauthier, Lucas Stabilizer, John Zimmer Sr. in The Uproar, Joe Foley and Axe, Mike Pagliarulo and Excalibur, Cole Vennard in the Black Pearl, John Zimmer Jr., Terminal Velocity, and finally, Tim Jones and Tailgater. So this is a massive lineup. I mean, there are a ton of competitors out here, and they're all going to be throwing it down tonight. So here's how it's going to work. There are 3 competitions, but only 2 will see the full lineup. So we're going to start, all 24 trucks will participate in timed racing. Drivers will have the choice between yellow lane and orange lane, and from there they'll complete the racing course, which you'll kind of figure out as the night goes on. It's pretty simple, not too hard to understand. Then the 3 highest placing drivers in timed racing from each team will get the opportunity to compete in the best trick competition. So this is going to be special here because it's going to kind of look into those wild card drivers. The drivers who have already been consistent on the night, well, now they're going to have an opportunity to pick up some more points for the team. So racing is not only a good time to get points for racing itself, but it'll get you into best trick. But there's more to it than that, because if you get to compete in best trick, you're getting more points to your own name. And whoever can win the overall event championship tonight is going to get a bid into the 2026 BeamNG Monster Jam Destruction Series. So there actually is a lot of importance behind being able to compete in all 3 competitions, because it's going to raise your odds at being able to win the overall and make your way onto the big series next year. Then, finally, as you would expect, all 24 competitors will throw it down in none other than Monster Jam Freestyle. From there, we might do an encore, depending on how time's looking. It'll probably, if we do an encore, be maybe overall event champion spotlight, something like that. We'll see how things go. I tried to do an encore at the Veterans Day show, and it just ended up running too late, so no promises in case that happens again, but we'll see if we get to an encore or not today. With that being said, we have spent a ton of time talking, but not a lot of time driving. So we're going to have to get started here right away. We have timed racing, 24 competitors all ready to burn it down in this competition, and they get to pick their lane. So coming up first tonight is Brianna Mahon and Whiplash. Let's see if she can get that truck fired up. There it is, Whiplash. Fired up and ready to go. So fans, before we get started here, I just have to check a couple settings. Oh, so yep, that's a good thing I did that, because that truck would have been real awful quiet if I didn't. I always need to look over my settings really quick before we get started here. A little end cab shot of Brianna Mahon and this Whiplash. Now, last time we saw Brianna Mahon, she was in Pirate's Curse at the Halloween event, but She's back in Whiplash because this scheme was just too good to miss out on for this Thanksgiving Day event. It's I believe it's the Earth Whiplash, but it just fits the theme so well. So she's going to be kicking off racing tonight. She's ready to go at the top of that starting ramp. Brianna Mahon gets racing started with the first pass of the night. It's going to be a lot about consistency out here. She's going to nail that turn. Good start to the pass. Now, you might think that's where it ends, but it's actually not. You'll see right here, she's taking it back up that ramp. Ooh, she's going to oversteer right there. This is going to hurt her time. So now she's going to have to take down that other ramp. That is how this course is meant to be completed. You take it up one ramp, do the turn, take it down the other ramp, and then this is where that racing pass will finish for Brianna Mahon. Big hang time to end out the run, and it's going to set her official time tonight at a 36.68. Again, that is a 36.68 for Brianna Mahon and the Whiplash kicking off this competition. Again, 36.68. My voice is already cracking. I did not warm up my voice before this stream. I've just been chugging water and hoping it helps. But all this talking does very quickly get to my voice. You'll find out as this stream goes on. Alright, so kicking things off here. A time of about a mid-36 range there. So, obviously, we don't know what a good time looks like yet. That was pretty much just setting the bar. But you never know. I mean, I think we'll probably see some faster passes than that. Just basing off the fact that she completely wiped out at the top of the track. That definitely did eat away at her time a little bit. So, we'll see how these next competitors do. I mean, we still have 23 more to go, so don't expect that to be your winning run, but we'll see. Maybe everyone will have some little mistakes like that. You never know until you see what happens. So, trying to prepare for this next run. We're having some trouble here. Secondary fans. I'm not sure what's going on here. We are preparing to send Tim Jones and Tailgater out there. We're having some little truck issues, but I should be able to sort these out. And we'll be able to get going here. Alright, we are ready to go, fans. A little bit of truck issues there going down for Tim Jones, but we're ready to go. Welcome to the stream, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving, Rob. Welcome back to another one. Who's in the lead? So far, we have only seen one racing pass. That was Brianna Mahon in Whiplash, and she put down a time of a 36.68. She is on the Team Turkey. So now we're going to move over to Team Destruction here. Tim Jones and Tailgater are going to be putting down their first time of the night. Looks like he's actually going to opt for that yellow lane, so he's switching it up after seeing those issues for Brianna Mahon. Maybe that inspired his change in options here. He is off to a very nice, quick start, but now he's going to have to find out how to keep this nice. That was a beautiful turn. Oh man, he's going to take a different approach and jump over that other obstacle. That might help him out though. He's actually looking very smooth around this top end. Ooh, there we go. You got to be very careful coming downhill right here because, oh yeah, there we go. That is going to be a DNF for Tim Jones. It looks like he tried to figure it out, thought he did, and committed to the downhill, but he slipped off that ramp, and unfortunately, once that happens, that's going to be the end of your pass, because, I mean, you can't really move. You're just on the stadium at that point. So Tim Jones and Tailgater, a rough start for Team Destruction. They kick things off with a DNF. So it was only a matter of time. I mean, this is a huge lineup. There's only so long until we had something happen. Now, it's surprising to see the first major error like that come so soon, but I'm certain that it was going to happen at some point. So we're going to take things over to Team Turkey now. After that rough break for Team Destruction. Coming up next, Cody, Saucier, and Dragon. Showing off those flames. It looks like he is going to go for that orange lane. We did see that there was more luck in the orange lane than the yellow lane so far, so sometimes you just got to go with the safer option. Looks like Cody, Saucier, and the Dragon is going to go with that. Now, he also has a very cool scheme on this truck. He also has a perfect first turn of this pass. Things are looking great right now for Cody Saucier. We might be taking a look at a new leader here. If he can get this up top turn figured out, ooh, he's going to go very wide up there. So he is going to recover fast. He doesn't need to reverse or anything. So that'll help him out coming into this last turn. But I'm sure he didn't want to take it quite that wide. Very nice final turn in the pass. And the time for Dragon is going to be a 34.30. Again, that is a 34.30. As Cody Saucier and the Dragon looks to find himself in that top spot. He is your new leader now, so someone to look out for here as we continue on. Cody Saucier leading this competition. Yes, this is a tricky track. It's using something we've never seen before. We did at this year's World Finals see something a little bit similar where there were drivers going, up into the stands in a way. But we have never, ever had a show where the trucks are actually going up a ramp like this that goes up and then having to do a full 180 pivot. That is something that we have never seen before. We saw something similar at the World Finals, but this is much tighter than that. And I think that's going to be a little bit more difficult for these drivers to figure out. Cody Saucier, though, he is going to be able to grab the lead. And right now, he is the driver to look out for as John Zimmer Sr. and Uproar is coming out here for Team Destruction. John Zimmer Sr. looking to get the first time of the night on the board for Team Destruction. He's going to opt for that orange lane, which so far we have seen the most success from. Let's see what he can do here. A very nice turn kicking off the run. And John Zimmer Sr., I'll say, is not much of a racer, so it's nice to see him looking very fast out here. Now, let's see. He's actually going to take it slow and steady at that top part of the track, but it looks like it actually paid off for him pretty well. Big speed down that downhill area. He's going to nail this last turn as well. Maybe if he can get this truck back in line, he sure can. And that time for the Uproar machine, a 32.46, which means your new leader here in racing is John Zimmer Sr. Again, that is a 32.46. Very nicely done. First normal scheme. Yeah, we have all sorts of schemes coming out here tonight, as this is one of those special events that you don't get to see too often. Here on this series, we like to do a good amount. So we actually have a lot. We have the World Finals, and then we go into the Halloween Superstar Challenge. That's 2. Then we do the Veterans Day Fall Brawl Series event, which takes us up to 3. And then we do the Thanksgiving All-Star Challenge, which is what we're doing now. That's 4. And then we end it off with the Christmas Crush show, which puts us at 5. So we do a lot of special shows like this, but even then, we still like to make sure we have all sorts of special schemes planned because, I mean, sometimes that's just what makes shows like this so exciting. Now, fans, we're going to get back into the action here, and we're going to take it over to Team Scream with Chris Kohler and Mahon. Now, Chris Kohler, he was a Fall Brawl Series champion, so this guy is not playing around this year. On top of that, he's looking to make his way onto the Destruction Series. Let's see what he can do. I'm absolutely loving that orange scheme on that Mayhem machine. He's off to a great start to this pass. Actually, a perfect start to this pass, I should say. I really don't have any complaints so far. This is by far the cleanest start we have seen. This is where drivers have been getting messed up. Chris Kohler perfects that turn. So that is what you're looking to see on this course. Right now, he is running a perfect pass, and he's actually going to keep that up all the way through the end of this pass. Chris Kohler and Mahon, extremely well done out there. He is clearly looking very precise. He is looking to take home a win for his team, and that is a 31.38 for Chris Kohler and Mahon. Again, a 31.38. That is going to put him in the lead tonight in racing as he looks to take home that win. So a great way to start the night for Chris Kohler and the Mayhem. Some people would say he's not a racer, but based on what we've seen on this tour this year, I really beg to I'd really beg to differ. Chris Kohler, back when the World Finals happened, he had both of the fastest passes in the LCQ and in qualifying. So, I mean, evidently, Chris Kohler is not playing around in this competition, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him start taking home some major racing wins next year. Well, that's enough of that, fans. That was Team Turkey now putting down the fastest time of the night. We are now going to prepare for that next Team Destruction competitor coming to you in the all-new Classroom Crusher for this season. It's Camden Murphy. Camden Murphy, if anyone in this lineup is not really a racer, I'd probably give that title to this guy. He's a great driver in pretty much every competition, except he's really just not known for racing. He has been in a World Racing Finals, though, so I think that is something to keep in mind, and he is off to a great start tonight, actually. Easily the cleanest start to a pass so far. We are only 12 seconds in right now, and that is exactly what we're going to need to see. This might do it, though. Yep, Chris Kohler and the Classroom Crusher. He is going to roll over at the top of that big upwards obstacle. I don't even know what to call it. He is going to set the second DNF of the night, and man, Team Destruction needs to get it figured out because they just cannot stop rolling these trucks over. It is tough break after tough break for that team. So a great way to kick off the night. We have seen some fast passes and some less than ideal passes. And one of those passes that we just saw that was not so great is going to go to Camden Murphy. And actually right now, things are looking just not good at all for Team Destruction. They have 2 DNFs on the board, and Team Turkey has both of the fastest times on the board. Not too sure what's happening there, but hopefully they can get things figured out. Now, fans, I'll be back in 1 second. I'm not too sure. There's some chaos going on over here. But, yeah, we're preparing for that next competitor coming to you from Team Turkey, that festive team. Fans, please welcome to the track, John Gordon and Bad Company. John Gordon, he's looking to pick up some more valuable points for his team that so far is honestly sweeping the floor, and it's not even close, really. It is crazy how one-sided this show has been so far. John Gordon and Bad Company, he's going to waste no time to get started here tonight. So if he can pick up some good, at least like a podium placement right now for his team, they're already going to be securing a lot of points in just their first 4 competitors, and that is huge for them. Actually, John Gordon he might take home the fastest pass right now if he can keep this up. This is looking great. Oh, see, there it is. When you have so much momentum being carried through all these different turns, sometimes you're going to have too much momentum and you're going to spin out. And that's what we just saw for John Gordon. So although he had a great pass all the way through, that one little slip up was enough to mess both him and his time up. And that's going to give John Gordon and Bad Company a 35.08. Again, that is a 35.08. So he is not going to be able to grab that top spot. Very tough break right there. Now, I am understanding we have some issues happening with these ads. I'm going to reduce those amount of ads. I'm not sure. I've never had this issue before, but I turned down the amount of ads that we should be seeing here. Actually, I'm gonna put them on manual mode so that this isn't a problem anymore, because clearly we're having some pretty big issues happening with these ads. So, all right. Yeah, manual mode for ads is now on, so you shouldn't be getting all those ads anymore. Not a fan of Showdown. It's they're very hard to control and not the most realistic. That's why BeamNG always the cup of tea here. It just gets it done as realistically as possible. And it's always very fun to see what these competitors can do as we prepare for that next competitor. We're going to take it back to Team Destruction with your first, no, I shouldn't say that actually, your second female competitor of the night. Looking to outdo Brianna Mahon. Please welcome to the track, Cynthia Gauthier and Lucas Stabilizer. Cynthia Gauthier, not known for racing, but she has been able to pick up a racing win, not a racing win, a racing win or two on this season. So maybe she is starting to get up there a little bit in her racing capabilities. She is getting started tonight. Great way to kick off the run. Oh, she is going to really swing into that turn early. Maybe it'll pay off for her, though. She's off to a fast start, but we're going to have to see if maybe she can recoup a little bit here, because that did look like it cut off a little bit of her potential. Big speed down this last straightaway. Let's see what she can do. Wide in this turn, and she is not going to get that clean turn she was looking for. Having to reverse it. We have seen a lot of drivers get into that predicament today. Oh my gosh! Oh, this is worse than having to reverse it. Cynthia Gauthier, Lucas Stabilizer, a crazy crash at the end of the run. Looks like everything held up okay, so that's nice. Her time is a 36.78. Again, a 36.78. So that is not going to get her on the board really at all. It's going to be pretty rough there. Team Destruction cannot get it done. They have the bottom 3 passes of the night right now. And Team Turkey has a good amount of the top ones. I was going to say the top 3, but they don't. John Zimmer Sr. and Uproar does hold second place, and he is on Team Destruction. Point is, though, there is no consistency at all on Team Destruction. Team Turkey is really just wiping the floor at this point. It's not even close thus far into competition. And that's something that we're definitely going to have to see some improvements in as we go along. Now, we're going to take this over to Team Turkey. And this is a truck that usually you would expect to see a little later on in the competition. But this driver has not been able to show too much of his abilities this year. So he is coming out here pretty early. This is Matt Cody driving the Gravedigger machine. Now, Matt Cody did prove himself to be a very fast racer when he won the LCQ earlier this year. Now he's going to have to find his way to double down. Nice start to the run. High speed down that straightaway as he gets things started. Very wide out there in that turn. A nice recovery, though. Huge air. And he is off and running with this pass. Let's see what he can do from here. Oh, no. This is our third DNF of the night, fans. Now, like we've been saying this whole time, this is a really tricky track to figure out. There is a lot of room for error, and that is going to be one thing that I think we're going to be seeing a lot of is those rollovers and those tricky corners. They will catch you, and they will just send you straight over onto your lid. Sometimes that is just the luck of the draw. So, fans, we're going to move things back over to Team Destruction now, as Team Turkey gets really their first bad pass of the night. I guess you could say that Brianna's pass wasn't great, but it was half decent. But that pass from Matt Cody was, it ended the worst way it really could have. So, tough break there. We're going to get things back over to Team Destruction, who is looking to make their redemption arc with G.I. Joe Foley and Axe. Well, the thing here is, Joe Foley is an incredible driver, but not a great racer. However, he has gotten some great racing finishes on this Fall Brawl series, which did recently come to an end. So, maybe Joe is going to be a threat. Oh, see, right off the bat, he's going to oversteer. Sometimes that is just how it's going to go. Let's see what he can do, though. He's taking it up there. Now, he can still make up some ground. I wouldn't say he's out of the race, but he's just too aggressive in these turns. We haven't seen any drivers make multiple major mistakes in their passes like Joe Foley has, and I think that is going to make his time kind of irreparable. I don't think there's going to be any saving graces here. It is a 39.55, so indeed, there is nothing there really to save Joe Foley's pass. He was too mixed up all throughout that pass, and unfortunately, that is where Team Destruction is once again going to find themselves in a very, very bad position. And even coming into this show, I was thinking, man, are these teams balanced? Team Turkey is stacked, but then I looked at Team Destruction, I thought, man, they have Ryan, Tyler, Bryce, Joe, you know, Little Zim. There's so much going on for Team Destruction, and I'm really shocked that they are performing at such a low bar right now, because their team is stacked and should be performing really at the highest level in all of the sports. So I'm not sure what the issue is. I don't know why they haven't got things together yet, but I'm going to say they need to get it figured out, because this is not working at all for Team Destruction. And all these drivers are going to have their dreams go down the dumps of being able to compete in the Christmas Crush later this year. Well, fans, let's get back into the action. Let's take it back to Team Turkey. Coming up next, Armando, Castro, El Toro, Loco. Armando looking to make it into his second year in the stadiums. He is rocking that yellow body to look a little bit more festive here. Now, what can he do? He's off. It's going to be a game of consistency out here. I'll tell you what, that was a beautiful turn by the El Toro Loco machine. Armando, Castro, El Toro Loco, he is looking incredible right now. Slow and steady wins the race up on top of that obstacle. Now, can he keep it fast around this end? No, he's going to take it really wide. Nice, smooth recovery, though. He might have got it done. It's going to be very close, fans. We have seen some... Oh, no, don't roll over after the race. Nice save for Armando, Castro, and El Toro Loco. Now, is it enough? We have seen some great times so far. The time to beat is Chris Kohler and Mayhem with a 31.38. The time for Armando, Castro, El Toro Loco is a 32.19. So close to taking that top spot here in racing, but unfortunately for Armando, he's not going to be able to get it done. Chris Kohler remains in first place. However, Armando is still going to take home a nice second place right now, which I don't think is bad at all. Again, that is a 32.19 for Armando Castro, putting him in second place right now in timed racing. Let's throw it back to Team Destruction, fans, with Colt Stevens, Thunder Roaring. Now, Colt, I'm going to say for sure not a racer, but let's not forget he is a world champion. This guy knows how to handle and drive a truck, and I don't think he can be counted out. So he's off to a very quick start here in racing. Let's see what he can do. Nice around this first turn. Keeping it nice and steady. Now this is the turn where we've seen a lot of drivers mess up. Not Colt Stevens. He's going to actually drift all the way through it. Not slowing down, but not rolling over either. Oh, there's something though. He takes that last turn very, very wide. That's going to hurt his time. Let's see. Clean over the finish line, but it is a 34.70. Again, that is a 34.70 for the Thunder Roarers. That's not going to be enough for that top spot. I'm not sure where exactly he's going to sit with that score, but I do know for sure that it is not going to be first place. We have already seen several sub 34 times, so a time above a 34 is not going to be enough. Well, fans, I'll tell you what, we've had a killer start to the action so far. And we are only halfway into the first competition. We have tons of crazy action coming your way. And this is just the start of it, as we're going to keep things rolling here, fans. Great start to racing, but plenty of passes left. Let's pass it back to Team Turkey with Tristan England, Megalodon. He has that Megalodon fire body, so interesting to see this making a comeback, but I will say that orange and yellow is very fitting to the theme of this holiday, and this track as well. Tristan England, he's getting ready to go here. He just keeps going a little bit over that line. And here he goes, he is getting started. Let's see what he can do. Tristan England is a good racer. He is a world racing champion. And he has made it to the racing finals, world racing finals, I should say, several times. So he knows what he's doing in this competition. The question is, will that experience show tonight? Well, so far it absolutely is. There's a lot at stake coming into this last turn for the Megalodon. Tristan England, he's going to nail the final turn. He's going to fly over the finish line. A pretty much perfect racing pass for Megalodon Fire. But is it enough? That time to beat right now belongs to Chris Kohler and Mayhem. He was able to put down a 31.38. The time for Tristan England and Megalodon Fire is... It is a 31.35, which means we have a new leader tonight in the timed racing competition, Tristan England, Megalodon Fire. Great news there for Tristan England. He was looking pretty much perfect. I see some questions here. This map is from the Beam Monsters website. I'm not sure if it's still available. There have been a lot of mods being taken down for some reason off the website, but that's where I originally got this mod from, so I can say that. Now we're going to keep things going here. We just saw a picture-perfect pass, so all these drivers still left to come. Well, now they really have their work cut out for them, and this guy right here is one of them. This is Bryce Kenny and Monster Mutt. Bryce off to a nice start tonight. He is coming out here for Team Destruction. Team Destruction has been having a very bad night, so Bryce Kenny is under pressure here to get some good points on the board for his team. We're going to have to wait and see if he can really do that. But I will say, this is a great start to the pass for Monster Mutt. Could have been a little faster there, but that was one of the cleaner times that we have seen a driver get around that top edge. Wide around this final turn, but if he can pick up the speed, he can get a good time on the board, and he is going to be able to do that. The time tonight for Bryce Kenny and the Monster Mutt is a 32.28. Again, that is a 32.28. That's not going to be enough to put him on the podium or anything like that. Or maybe it is, actually. No, very close to podium. That will put him in 4th place currently. So a great pass by Bryce Kenny. And also the fastest pass so far for Team Destruction. But unfortunately, it's not going to be quite enough to put them on that podium once again. So fans, we're starting to near the end of this competition. Not quite. We still have a pretty big number of competitors left to come. But point is, we're starting to really settle in on who the successful drivers and who the less than successful drivers are. And right now, it's looking really good for Team Turkey, really bad for Team Destruction. We'll see if they can pick it up as this event goes on. But right now, Team Destruction is really in the gutter. So fans, we're going to move things back over to Team Turkey with Bari Musawwir and Zombie. That beautiful golden brown zombie is perfect for this track design for this holiday, and he's getting started. Now, if you look in the mouth of that zombie, it looks like that zombie found its way to a wish bone that it is actually eating. So, Bari Musawwir looking extra festive in this machine, and he's off to a nice start to this racing pass. Now, can he keep it alive? Yes, he can, actually. He's going to nail that top portion of the track. So a lot coming into this final turn. Huge speed, huge momentum, a perfect turn Bari Musawwir and Zombie. He is going to go sub 32. He's not going to be able to grab that top spot, as his official time is a 31.97. Again, a 31.97. However, although that will not be enough to achieve the top spot, that is still going to put Bari Musawwir on the podium, and that also means that now all three of the fastest times so far, they all belong to Team Turkey. 1 second here, fans. It looks like the time for Monster Mutt disappeared from my spreadsheet, so I'm going to have to check back this replay really quick and see what his time was. Alright. $32.28, okay. Sorry, I'm not sure what happened there. The time just completely got deleted off my list. Hopefully that's the only one that got messed up, because otherwise it's going to be very hard to find the rest. That should be it, though. It looks... yeah, everything looks right from there. Alright, we're going to keep things going here in timed racing. Bari Musawwir just got some more very valuable points on the board for Team Turkey. They are pretty much dominating this competition. I don't even think that's a little bit debatable to say. Quite frankly, it's not even close between the two teams at this point in time. With that being said, there's still a lot of opportunities for both teams to pick it up. It's just not looking likely at the moment. However, Team Destruction is going to send out their next competitor, and it is Mike Pagliarulo and Excalibur. Now, Mike is not a racer. I'll say that much. He's great in every competition except racing. However, he has beat Tristan England this year, so let's see if he can keep that up. Nice way to kick off the run. Very hard on his transition to the main portion of the track, but it's alright, it looks like. Truck held up and everything like that. And he's actually got one of the fastest starts to a pass yet. So this is looking very good for Mike Pagliarulo. If he can keep up this pace, he's going to go very wide up there. That is something that I think is very common for Mike Pagliarulo, is wide turns. He gets a little squirmy right there, but he's going to recover nice. So if he can just keep up this speed, he's actually going to be able to put down a pretty decent time. It is a 34.08. So that isn't enough to really get him on any notable boards, but it is nice to see some decent points being picked up for Team Destruction, because they have been struggling to get really anything done. So even if it's not much, anything counts, including that time that we just got from Mike Pagliarulo and Excalibur. At this point in time, Team Turkey really still has it figured out. If you look at those top 10 passes, a majority of them belong to that team, so be very interested to see what these other drivers are all going to be trying to do here. Alright, fans, let's keep things going. We are down to the final 4 drivers for each team, so we are now in the home stretch of racing. There's only a third of the field left to go. So the points could be anyone's game, but right now, they're pretty much entirely Team Turkey's game, unless Team Destruction has a miracle comeback. But now, Team Turkey is sending out a veteran driver, Jim Kohler. Things just keep on looking worse for Team Destruction. Jim Kohler, he's staged, he's ready to go. And he's off the line here. Now, Jim Kohler's son, Chris Kohler, dominated that leaderboard for a while, so Jim Kohler's got something to live up to here. And I'll tell you what, he's off to a great start in the Avenger. And he's actually, wow, this might be able to do it. This is one of the fastest passes I have ever seen from Jim Kohler. Team Scream has this course figured out. Jim Kohler, what a time tonight. Jim Kohler and Avenger, it is a 30.65 for the Avenger machine. Again, that is a 30.65. Jim Kohler and Avenger is your new leader tonight in racing. That's not every day that you hear that, but I really think Jim Kohler is starting to get good in racing. And I mean, he's always been decent in racing, but he's starting to get actually good at a consistent level in racing, and that just proved it. Jim Kohler, an Avenger, he is your new leader, and there are only 7 drivers left to potentially take away that time. Out of the, 17 drivers that have gone, Jim Kohler is the only driver to go sub 31. That is insanely impressive, and the odds are very low that these next drivers are going to be able to beat that. But we're going to have to throw it back to Team Destruction as they look to go against that absolutely insane pass from Avenger. It's Cole Menard and the Black Pearl coming up next. So Cole, man, he's got to be nervous after watching that pass right there. Definitely a scary pass to have to follow up. And oh man, I don't know what happened. An incredibly wide turn for the Black Pearl, and Team Destruction is just not getting it done right now. I don't know, that it looks like maybe the rear steer delayed a little bit. It was very interesting whatever happened, but Cole Menard, he's recovering well. He's trying to make up that ground that he lost from that first turn. I'll say he did a very good job at finding his speed again. And his time tonight is going to be a 34.48. So Cole Menard and the Black Pearl try to correct his mistakes, and he did a pretty alright job. It's not a good time, but it's not even close to the worst time we have seen, which is no time. So, at the very least, Cole Menard gets some more points on the board for his team. Well, fans, this show is already going crazy. We have seen some crash madness by quite a few drivers. We have seen some pretty crazy fast passes, and we've seen some rough breaks and surprise dark horses. So, some of everything so far, and we're only in racing. Fans, we are down to 6 competitors left. This is where things are going to be very, very close. And all these drivers are going to be performing at their absolute best. Coming up next to the track is Blake Granger, Monster Mutt Dalmatian, 14, Turkey. And he's starting his pass right there. So a nice way to kick things off for Blake Granger. He was the fastest qualifier this year, but I don't know what is happening. That is going to be a 5-second penalty because he just missed the ramp he was supposed to hit. He looks like he started off this pass with a lot of confidence. He looked really determined, and he was really fast, but you have to hit the right ramp or else you're going to have to pay the price. And Blake Granger does hit the wrong ramp. He is going to pay the price tonight. Now his time without penalty is a 34.08, but with that 5-second penalty, that is a 39.08 for the Monster Mutt Dalmatian. Again, that is a 39.08. That is a tough break, you know. He was very fast, and he was perfect in pretty much every turn except that first one, and as soon as you hit the wrong ramp, really your run is over. There's no saving it at that point. So a tough break for Blake Granger, but you gotta be on your A game like all these other competitors have. He couldn't do that tonight. He paid the price for that tonight. Fans, we are officially in the home stretch. Only 5 passes remain. Right now, this is also starting to determine the lineup for the best trick competition, and we have now officially determined that Jim Kohler and Avenger will be in that competition because he is high enough up in points. Fans, let's keep things going. 3 more for Team Destruction and 2 more for Team Turkey. Coming up next for Team Destruction, please welcome John Zimmer Jr., Terminal Velocity. John Zimmer Jr.'s own dad is one of the only drivers on Team Destruction to get it done tonight. So John Zimmer Jr. is looking to keep that consistency alive for both his family and his team. I'll say this is a very good way to kick off the run. He's looking pretty much perfect to kick things off. And he's looking very nice in this turn. Oh man. He just gives it too much gas. He's still in the dirt, so he's going to try to back out of this, but that is going to do it, fans. It looks like maybe something went wrong there with that. He was trying to reverse, to my understanding, and the truck ended up going forward into that off-limits area. So it was not an intentional mistake there for John Zimmer Jr., but it certainly is still one he's going to have to pay the price for. That is the third DNF for his team. Unreal. Team destruction. It is tough break after tough break for them tonight. And it just keeps on getting worse. That team, man, it's hard to watch, but again, it's all about being the best competitor you can. These drivers so far are just not doing that. There's only 4 drivers left, 2 from each team. Right now, Team Turkey is still walking away with it. But Team Destruction might still get an opportunity to sneak in there. You never know. Team Turkey is sending out their second to last driver, fans. Please welcome to the track none other than Adam Anderson, Gravedigger the legend. Adam Anderson, a veteran, one of the longest running drivers in this lineup. So he has a lot to live up to here. He is a world racing champion. He has that to live up to. But I'll tell you what, he's living up to it so far. He is perfect as he is kicking off this racing path. Adam Anderson, Gravedigger the legend, very high up there right now. He's looking great though. Big speed into this final turn. This is a game of precision by Adam Anderson. Accelerating across the line. And that time tonight, a 32.06, really. I thought for sure that would be sub 32, but I am looking at the official times that I've been given. It is a 32.06, so there we have it. Not going to be enough for Adam Anderson. That still does put him in the top 5, though, so he shouldn't feel bad about that. That is a great time. But I myself find it very strange to see that that is not a sub 32 time. I was pretty certain that it would be. Sometimes it's just weird like that, though. I don't know. There's only 3 drivers left at this point. Team Turkey is still blowing Team Destruction out of the water. But Team Destruction now has an opportunity to get in there and try to mix things up a little bit with these last 2 competitors. Coming up next to the track, it's Tyler Menninga and Gravedigger. Tyler not wasting a second tonight to get started with his pass. He is off to an incredible start. Nice around this turn. He's going to actually get pretty clean there. It looked like he was slipping out a little bit, but he is going to recover very nicely. Perfect around that upper bend. Tyler Menninga, we could be looking at a new leader right now. If he can keep this momentum up. Yes, he can. Tyler Menninga across the line. Oh, no. Fans, that is some huge damage in the back. That whole sway bar section just completely came out upon landing. Yeah, take a look at that. Now, sway bars usually aren't too bad of a repair, so he should hopefully be able to make it back by the next competition, but I don't know. It did look pretty rough. What I will say is Tyler Menninga is your new leader with a 30.43. Man, I need some water. Ugh. A 30.43 for Tyler Menninga. He is your new leader in racing. This is big news for Team Destruction, as they have been having such a hard time getting points on the board. But now he has some pretty big things he needs to repair if he wants to make it out for best trick. And again, this is one of those things where every point counts. You cannot miss a beat. So I'm sure his team is going to be working very hard back there as they look to get him out for best trick, because there are a lot of valuable points on the line in that competition. Alright, fans, we're officially down to only 1 competitor left for each team. This is where the stakes are going to be higher than ever for these drivers. 1 left for Team Turkey, 1 left for Team Destruction. Team Destruction just grabbed the lead, so Team Turkey they've got some work to do, but I'm sure they won't be afraid to do it because their last competitor coming out is a world racing champion, Zack Garner, Wildside. Zack, he has a crazy orange body on that truck to be in theme with this. So Team Turkey here, he is really representing, and they did choose him to come out last, so I guess they didn't take the fact that he is a world champion lightly. Not only is he a world racing champion, but he has made it to the world racing finals several times, so he is a natural. And he is also getting started tonight. Nice around this first turn. It could have been faster, I'll say that, but it's not the worst thing we've seen either. He is looking a little bit messy up there, but a nice job recovering. Very slow in that upper bend though, so I don't know. Oh, he's going to take his turn really weird. Oh no. What? What a recovery by Zack Garner. He was not letting anything stop him. He just did like he oversteered, did some sort of a weird pirouette, and somehow was immediately able to recover and keep that pass going. Unreal. That was crazy. His time is going to be a 33.98, so he doesn't put a winning time on the board, but the point still stands. That was one of the craziest ends to a race I have ever seen, and I think that really just proves that Zack Garner is an incredible driver. I can't think of a single other driver in Monster Jam that could make a recovery like that and go on with the pass like nothing happened. Zack Garner, he is a legend behind the wheel. Well, fans, only one competitor remains here in racing. He is a 5-time world champion, and he is a world racing champion. Please welcome to the track, Ryan Anderson, son of a digger. Ryan Anderson, of course, that 2017 world racing champion. Now he is looking to become an all-star, the Thanksgiving all-star racing winner. But can he do it? This is his one and only chance this year. He cannot do it. He is going to oversteer right there. He will still have the opportunity to bring this pass to an end, but that is huge for Ryan Anderson. He is going to oversteer in his pass, and that is going to really hurt his time. Oh my gosh! Ryan Anderson. He is going to get messed up on that downhill, hit that backflip ramp very hard, completely shears a wheel off. Maybe more. Yeah, there's a shock tower out. Some sway bars are just gone. Unreal. That is not how you want to end your night in racing. That is rough. That is your 5th DNF of the night, the last DNF, and that means that your winner is Tyler Menninga and Gravedigger. Now, fans, I'm going to take a quick minute here to count up all these scores, see how the points are looking for each team. In the meantime, I'll put on some music. I'll put on an ad or two because I think this is the best opportunity to do that as we prepare to move into the second half of action here tonight. Fans, I'll be back shortly. Alright fans, we are back. I apologize for the short break there. We just had to count up all these scores and make sure everything was correct. It does take quite a while when there's 24 times to go through and then sort out the points and everything like that. But right now, Team Turkey is in the lead with 180 points compared to a total of 118 points for Team Destruction. That is a 62-point lead. So unless Team Turkey consistently has the worst freestyles the world has ever seen, they have just about secured their win tonight. But we don't know yet. Obviously, there's a lot still to come, so no promises yet. Now, fans, we have to move into the next competition, which is Best Trick. There will be 3 drivers from each team, which is the 3 drivers with the fastest passes from each team, who will be competing in this competition. With that being said, from Team Turkey competing in Best Trick, we will have Tristan England in Megalodon, Jim Kohler in Avenger, and Chris Kohler in Mayhem. Oh my gosh. On Team Destruction, we will have Tyler Meninga, Bryce Kenny, and John Zimmer Sr. So this is going to be really interesting. I think it's safe to say that Team Turkey does have a little bit of an advantage here, but what I want to highlight is that half of these Best Trick competitors are independent drivers that are not known for skills. So I'll be very interested to see what approaches they're going to take coming into this competition, because really I wouldn't say that this is their competition just looking at what we're working with. But we're going to have to see what happens. This is interesting. So we were lined up for Best Trick: John Zimmer Sr., Bryce Kenny, Tyler Meninga, Jim Kohler, Chris Kohler, and Tristan England. Wow, what a weird competition we're about to see. Well, fans, we're going to kick things off in that case with John Zimmer Sr. because of those drivers, he did have the slowest time. Now, there's a lot of ways you can go with Best Trick. You can go for the big wow moment. You can go more technical. You can do a blend. Really, there's no limits to Best Trick. You kind of just go for it. So I'm interested to see what these drivers will all do, because there's a lot of creativity involved, but I'm especially interested to see what some of these independents will do as John Zimmer Sr. in Uproar kicks things off. Now, he will only have 1 attempt, so that's something these drivers have to keep in mind. They have to make this count because they only get 1 chance. If they line up for something and even the setup goes wrong, too bad. That is their only attempt here in Best Trick. Best Trick is much more stern than skills, so I'll be interested to see what these drivers all choose to go for as John Zimmer Sr. in Uproar is kicking things off. He looks like he's got something in mind right now, though, so let's see what he can do. Going for some technical moves here, something that he has very much improved on over the last couple of years. He's actually going to walk this back, so this is something that we don't see from him too often. Maybe that pressure is playing into his driving a little bit. Can he pull out a save? Very nicely done by John Zimmer Sr. in Uproar. And that is going to bring his Best Trick to an end. Fans, let's hear it for John Zimmer Sr. and Uproar. Now, for those of you who are new to these shows, fan judging is now open. Yes, that is right. We do fan judging in these events. So get your scores in for John Zimmer Sr. and Uproar and that run right there. We use the professional crossover. So we have half fan scores from the chat, and then we pair those with some expert scores to mediate, and then that will give the official score. So again, fans, get those scores in for John Zimmer Sr. and Uproar. Alright, let's see. Fan scores coming at a 7.8. Just because there wasn't anything too spectacular for that best trick, experts are going to give that a 7. So it is a 7.4 kicking off best trick for John Zimmer Sr. and Uproar. Again, that is a 7.4. So getting things started right there with Team Destruction. Now we're going to toss things over to your Team Turkey lineup. And this is where things are going to be interesting. These drivers are not the drivers you usually expect to see in something like this, so we'll see how things go. Fans, coming up next to the track, please welcome Jim Kohler, Avenger. Jim Kohler is probably the driver I would least expect to see in the best trick competition do something crazy, but Jim Kohler is called Mr. Excitement, so you can never count him out. He's always got something in mind, and I'll be interested to see what exactly that is tonight. Because he only has one attempt. But Jim Kohler is never afraid to just go out there and send it with one hit. So let's see what he ends up going for here. As he only has one attempt. He looks very excited. He is flying around the track, just hitting everything in sight. Let's see what he goes for. He might have something in mind, fans. Yes, he does. He is revving it up. Full speed ahead for the Avenger. A huge sky wheelie. Oh my goodness. Well, I don't know what to think about that, fans. I don't know. Maybe he had more in mind, but a sky wheelie is really not going to cut it in this competition. Yeah, personally, I would say that Jim Kohler and Avenger is not going to be able to get it done tonight. We'll see how those fan scores come in, but I know that even the fans are probably shaking their heads at that one, wondering what he was thinking, because, I mean, come on, you have one attempt, and your choice is a sky wheelie. It's really interesting, especially when you're in the runnings to very easily find yourself in the Destruction Series next year. I'd expect him to really take that opportunity, but no, that's not actually what we're going to see happen. Let's see, we're not getting any fan scores in. Oh, no, we did just get a fan score. Okay. Experts are going to give that a 5.5. Okay, 6.5 for the fans. Experts are going to give that a 5.5. Just wasn't up to par. So that is going to be a 6 flat tonight for the Avenger. Again, that is a 6 flat tonight. Fans, let's keep things going here in Best Trick. Let's move it back to Team Destruction. This is Bryce Kenny, Monster Mutt. Bryce said he has some big things in mind that he really wants to try out with this track. He wants to do some things that maybe have been seen before, but haven't been seen very often. I'm not too sure what that entails, but I'm sure Bryce has something in mind tonight. Taking some big speed around the track as he's getting ready to get things started. See what he ends up going for here. He's going for a moonwalk. Okay, nice, or some nose wheelie action, I should say. We don't know about a moonwalk quite yet, but he's definitely getting a nice nose wheelie underway. Now, this is a big floor. There's a lot of options, but Bryce has kind of limited himself into this one pathway, so let's see what he goes for. It's like he's wiggling around that front end a little bit. Maybe he's trying to get it to face a different way. I'm not too sure, but either way, he's looking very nice and controlled right now. I just think we need to see a little bit more tossed into this move somehow. Bryce has been great at controlling these trucks really ever since this two-wheel skills competition started. This has always been a talent that Bryce has had, and well, we're definitely seeing a lot of that right now. You can even see the bottom of that carriage begging for bones, something you usually don't see unless that truck rolls over, but well, Bryce Kenny's going to decide to balance it instead. There we go, a nice combination maneuver. Oh, and he's going to pop it back down. So Bryce Kenny and Monster Mutt, he is making sure to make the most of this move. I'm loving it right now. This is easily the most control that we have seen so far, the most skill in a trick. But I'm not really seeing a best trick so far. I'm just seeing some good two-wheel skill action. But no matter what I say, nothing will change the fact that this is a very, very nicely done move. The question now really becomes, what can he do to pick it up from here? It's a great start to a run, but he's got to find a big way to cap this off. Oh my goodness, Bryce Kenny, he's going up and over. He's going to try to get this back, but it doesn't look like he can. Fans, let's hear it for Bryce Kenny, Monster Mutt. Man, what a crazy maneuver we just saw. He looks like he really had something crazy in mind for that last move, but unfortunately, that truck's going to roll over. Great effort by Bryce Kenny and that Monster Mutt machine. Beautiful balance and precision. Obviously, you can never have too much of that when you're looking at a competition like this. But unfortunately, it's just going to be a little bit of a rough ending right there to that run. Fans are going to give it a 7.9. Experts are going to give it an 8. That is a 7.95 for Bryce Kenny, which means he is your new leader tonight in the best trick competition. Let's hear it for Bryce Kenny and Monster Mutt. Fans, we are halfway through best trick. So far, we have seen some great moves, but we still have 3 more drivers to go, who I'm sure all still have some crazy, crazy ideas left to try out. And coming up next, it's Team Scream Zone, Chris Kohler and Mahon. So Chris Kohler, you gotta wonder, what is he gonna go for? He has always been known to do crazy things, but a lot of Chris Kohler's career highlights come completely unplanned. So I'm very interested to see what he chooses to go for with this run, because he's not one to typically plan his crazy maneuvers. I will say it looks like he might be setting his sights on something, so right off the bat, Chris Kohler and Mahon looking for ideas. And he's actually going to take it up onto that little pod, that little backflip pod. So interesting. I'll be interested to see what he really decides to go for right here. Looks like he's eyeing that backflip ramp. So let's see what he can make happen here. Very nicely done by Chris Kohler and Mahon. And look at this. He is walking this up and down that ramp right now. So Chris Kohler and Mahon, he is showing some great precision. Maybe even smoother than Bryce Kenny so far, but I definitely like to see something go into this move, because I think Bryce Kenny's move ended a little abruptly. There wasn't really that big finisher that I'd like to see. Chris Kohler and Mahon, though, he's looking for something, it looks like. He's kind of taking it to that far end of the track and almost searching in a way for something to do. I'm not really sure what he's going to be able to do, though. I mean, he's kind of just looking at a completely flat obstacle at this point. So it's going to be hard to work with, but he's definitely trying to line up that truck to at least get something done here. Very nicely done by Chris Kohler. I'm loving this action right now. There's no time limit or anything, so he can stay on that front end for as long as the truck will allow it. And there's nothing stopping him. Oh man, that was a hard hit. That actually shut the truck off upon landing. It looked like he was maybe trying to reverse back into that obstacle that he started on, but instead, it's going to end up being a very, very hard crash for the Mahon machine. Not everything's going to go how you want it to. And I'll tell you what, I don't think you're ever going to want to get pretty much the hardest landing possible, but that's what just happened there for Chris Kohler and Mahon, as he was looking to kick things off, or I guess not kick things off, but get things going with a nice move there. Now, fans, we would be seeing Timed-Racing coming up next, but they are still working on that truck behind the scenes, so we're going to be seeing the last Team Turkey competitor before we see Timed-Racing return to the track. Moving back to Chris Kohler's run, experts give it a 7.75. Fans give it a 7.899, so that score is a 7.825. Again, that is a 7.825. That is only enough for second place right now for Chris Kohler and Mayhem. Again, a 7.825. Well, fans, like I said, only 2 competitors left to go, but Timed-Racing isn't coming out quite yet because Tristan England and Megalodon is going to be hitting the track right now. Megalodon Fire. Now, Tristan, if there's anyone in this lineup who will do a crazy technical move that will turn it into a crazy trick and that no one has ever seen before, it's got to be Tristan England, man. I know his freestyles are a little lackluster, but he's an innovator, and I think that's kind of undeniable. So I'm going to be very interested to see what he goes for tonight. He always has something up his sleeve. Tristan England and Megalodon. He's getting ready to go here. Very nice. Look at that. Now, he doesn't have a lot of room to work with here, so his only option is to go forward into the ramp ahead of him, backwards into the ramp behind him, or to set it down in this little space, which I don't think would be particularly rewarding, nor do I think is what he would be going for right now. So, Tristan England and Megalodon Fire, very interested to see what he goes for here. Very nice balancing act, I'll say that. This is precision at its finest. Oh no! Fans, let's hear it for Tristan. Oh, this truck's just gonna roll itself back over thanks to gravity. Let's hear it for Tristan England, Megalodon Fire. It looked like he was trying to go for a moonwalk into reverse backflip, or I guess a moon flip, I should say, with that mini flip obstacle, but unfortunately, the truck is just not going to agree with it right there. I will say, it was a very cool move. He did demonstrate a lot of balance in the process of the move, but it didn't end the way he wanted it to, and I think that's something to keep in mind in something like this best trick competition. A big part of it is going to be doing what you want it to do, and Tristan England is not going to be able to do that. So, with that being said, fan scores come in with an 8.002. The expert scores are going to give it an 8 flat. That is an 8.001, which means, despite not ending the way he wanted to, Tristan England and Megalodon Fire is your new leader here in Best Trick. Well, fans, it has been a crazy night of action, but we're officially down to your final Best Trick competitor. He is your Timed-Racing winner. He's looking to double down tonight and win some more big points for his team. It's Timed-Racing and Granger. Tyler is really an expert at his craft, and, well, he will always innovate in some way, shape, or form if he gives the opportunity. So, I'm very interested to see what he ends up going for tonight. There's a lot to work with on this track, and a lot of room to try something new, but he's lining up for what appears to be the same thing that Bryce Kenny lined up for. So maybe Tyler got an inspiration, maybe he has something of his own up his sleeve, I don't know, but he's going for the same start as we saw from Bryce Kenny. Tyler is losing it! Wow, nice recovery right there. I thought he was already setting it down on accident, and that would not have been good for his points, I'll say that much. If he had set it down right there, I think that this run would have probably placed last, but Right now, he's doing a very nice job at keeping this move alive. He's going to do like a bicycle in the moonwalk just out of thin air right there. So we are seeing some great skills for Tyler Menninga and Gravedigger. And he's going to set it down right there. So that was really interesting. We saw a lot of balance and some good precision, but also a little bit of almost sporadicness in a way. His moves seem uncalculated and chaotic, but at the same time, you could tell there was a lot of skill put into them. The problem is, at what point was it really a best trick as opposed to just being a crazy move? You never know. But then again, he is one of the only drivers to actually set it down on all fours and not hit the cage. So, something else to keep in mind. So the expert scores are going to come in at an 8. Fan scores come in at an 8.404, which means your score for Tyler Menninga, an 8.202. He is your best trick winner. So fans, let's count up these points right now from best trick. Jim Kohler was able to get 1. John Zimmer Sr. was able to get 2. Chris Kohler got 3. Bryce Kenny got 4. Tristan England got 5. And Tyler got 6. That means right now, Tyler is in the lead for the overall with a total of 30 points, but Tristan England is close behind with a total of 27 points. On top of that, this will shake up the points a little bit, as Team Destruction is now going to move up to 130 points on the board, but Team Turkey is going to move up to 188 points on the board. So, very interesting things. Team Turkey is still dominating the competition pretty easily, but there is still some room for Team Destruction to make a comeback, especially now that they have achieved some pretty big points in Best Trick. Well, fans, it's officially the time of the night that everyone waits for. It's time to get ready for Monster Jam Freestyle. All of these drivers are ready to throw it down. That's right. All 24 drivers are going to have the opportunity to compete as long as their trucks are all up and running. And, well, it's looking like they are. So, this freestyle course is crazy, man, let me tell you. If you weren't at the All-Star Challenge event last year for Thanksgiving, you won't know what I'm talking about. But you'll find out pretty soon, because this is a crazy, sick, and killer track. This is a super fun one. I cannot wait to see what these drivers will do. So, the order in freestyle is going to be based on overall points standings tonight. That's going to be really interesting, because going based off of point standings for freestyle order means that your first competitor coming out tonight for freestyle is going to be none other than Ryan Anderson and Son of a Digger. That is not something that happens very often, but tonight Ryan came out and just had some crazy stuff happen in racing, and because he did place last in racing, that means he is coming out first in freestyle. So fans, let's get started in freestyle. Each competitor will have 2 minutes, but there can only be one winner at the end of the night. Ryan Anderson, Son of a Digger, getting things started. So as you can see, some pretty major changes to this track. We have a backflip ramp added in. All these ramps, let's see, one is steeping into a jump right there, and those ones over there have been turned into some backflip ramps. So a lot of changes made to this course for freestyle. And the driver that gets to try it out first is none other than Ryan Anderson. This is going to be a crazy competition, fans. Let's get started. Ryan Anderson, he is off and running, and his 2 minutes begin now with some humongous air. Now, fans, don't forget, keep your eyes open. Don't miss a second of this, because you will be responsible for scoring. So Ryan Anderson, he is off to a very nice start tonight. Huge air, oh no. Rough landing, but it looks like the truck held up okay, so He's got to be careful. He's already broken that truck once tonight, so I'm sure it is vulnerable to potentially break again. Actually, we do see a truck breakage. That front left axle is broken. You'll notice that tire is spinning out of line. So that's going to make this truck a little bit harder to control for Ryan Anderson. I'll be interested to see how he tries to make up for that. Big air, but once again a risky landing. So Ryan, he's clearly not holding back. And although I respect that, I want to see just a little bit more caution just so that this run can actually fill time. Great donuts. Wow, what a save. He almost rolled that truck over. He's going to be able to save it without hitting the wall. We're starting to see that truck breakage coming through a little bit more as he is struggling to maneuver around the track. But regardless, I'll say he's doing a great job keeping the air alive, getting some nice technical moves like that wheelie right there. And that killer donut as well. So Ryan, he's still got 20 seconds on the clock to try to make something else happen here. Oh, what a save, maybe. Oh, no. He cannot save it from there, fans. He's going to leave 8 seconds on the clock because this tire right here was not receiving power at the end of that run. And that means that, well, he couldn't save it. It simply was not possible. Regardless, what a crazy run to kick off the night. There wasn't a backflip. There wasn't time completion. I think the wow factor could have been a little better at times, but still a crazy way to end out the run for sure. Fan scores give it an 8.432. Again, that is an 8.432. Experts are going to give that an 8.25. So it is a... Whoops. It is an 8.341 kicking off freestyle tonight. Again, that is an 8.34 run as Ryan Anderson, son of a digger, gets this competition started off crazy. I mean, that was wild. And, you know, it's one of those things where the harder you drive, the harder you fall. Ryan was going huge all throughout that run, but as he was doing that, the truck stopped taking it. It started to break, and from there it just got hard to control and ultimately would be the cause of him not being able to save it at the end of his time. So, Ryan Anderson, great way to kick things off, but I'm sure we'll see some more crazy runs coming up. And coming up next, another competitor for Team Destruction behind the wheel of the Classroom Crusher. Please welcome Camden Murphy. So Camden's coming out here. And I mean, he has always been known to be a freestyler, so I'm very excited to see what'll get done here. Nice air kicking off the run. Now, we already saw one Camden Murphy rollover tonight. I guess we're going to have to find out if it becomes two or not. He is off to a killer start, though. I'm loving this air. Oh! Nice little save right there. It looked like that truck was almost rolling over. So maybe there's something wrong with the suspension, I guess. That truck just doesn't want to stay upright. Great air and a crazy wheelie coming off of it. But Camden's got to watch out here because that truck does look like it wants to roll over. And if he's not cautious, it probably will roll over once again. Great air, though. I'm liking these combination maneuvers. So Camden Murphy, he's actually going to take it up that ramp. That's not something I was expecting to see in this competition, but maybe he's got something in mind. Huge transfer right there. Oh, not even a transfer. He's just going to clear that other obstacle. So Camden Murphy, oh, there we go, though. We're going to see the same breakage. Now, this is the front right tire instead of the front left, but the point still stands. These drivers are pushing their trucks, and they're seeing breakages occur because of it. And same thing that happened to Ryan Anderson. Camden Murphy is going to roll over onto the breakage, and because that part of the truck was broken, he just could not save it. He's going to leave 40 seconds on the clock with a broken Classroom Crusher left to show. So a tough break there. I mean, he had a great run going. I was loving the air, the momentum, even some wow factor. But, I mean, every truck has its limits. And if you push your truck to the limits, you're bound to find them eventually. So that is what we saw happen right there for Camden Murphy. Tough break because, I mean, he seemed like he was ready to go and put down a good run. But regardless, I think he did still get a pretty cool move that the fans will leave this show remembering, so that's always nice to have. And regardless of whatever else happened, I think it was pretty fun to watch while it was happening. Let's see, fans are going to give it an 8.087. Experts are going to give it a 7 flat, so that score is a 7.544. Again, that is a 7.544 for Camden Murphy and the Classroom Crusher. Well, fans, let's take it over to that festive holiday team. Let's take it over to Team Turkey. Coming up, your first Gravedigger here in freestyle, it's Matt Cody. So, we've already seen Son of a Digger open. Now we're seeing Gravedigger go third. So, very interesting things happening with this competition order. Matt Cody gets it started with some crazy air, and he's just going to combo it up. Great way to kick off the run. He's showing why he belongs behind the wheel of the Gravedigger machine. I'm loving this action right off the bat. Matt Cody did not waste a second to get behind the wheel and start airing it out. And I mean, this is what it's all about in freestyle is, can you go big, and can you go bigger than the driver before you? Well, right now, Matt Cody is looking to say yes to that, both of those questions, really. He's looking a little bit lost from time to time, but he's staying on the gas and keeping the momentum alive, and I respect that. I'm liking what we're seeing here. Fans, let's hear it for Matt Cody, Gravedigger. He got a little aggressive on that wheelie right there, and you take a look right there, he breaks a 4-link bar. An early end to the run, he's going to leave 67 seconds on the clock again. 67 seconds are going to be left unfilled by Matt Cody. Regardless, it was a fun run while it lasted, but, I mean, you got to stay consistent. Unfortunately, he's not able to do that right here. Now, fans, I am noticing there was an error in the points earlier. Team Destruction actually left racing with 120 points. There was something I didn't catch, but we're correcting it now. I accidentally calculated that both John Zimmer Jr. and Camden Murphy got 2 points in racing. Actually, Camden got 2 and John Zimmer Jr. got 4. So there are 2 points extra given to that team. So, let's see. The fans are going to give Matt Cody a 6.709. Experts are going to give it a 5 flat. So, that score tonight is a 5.855. Again, a 5.855 for Matt Cody and Gravedigger. So, it's one of those things where, well, can you stay consistent? Can you fill the time? Unfortunately, both of those were a no for Matt Cody. He got a little carried away and got a little bit too aggressive, and things aren't going to work out right there. So, Matt Cody and Gravedigger, a tough break, but we still have plenty of action left to come here. 21 freestyles before the end of the night, fans. There is so much yet to come. You don't want to go anywhere. You don't want to miss a second of it, as we are preparing for that next competitor. Fans, please welcome to the track, John Zimmer Jr., Terminal Velocity. John Zimmer Jr., man, this is a guy that I think every person needs to see tear it up in freestyle at least once in their life. He will show you, fans, what a true freestyle run looks like. And he's getting started off with some great air right there. Almost rolled over. That was actually kind of scary. I thought he was done right away, but he's going to be able to recover nicely. Oh man, he's getting crazy. He is not wasting a second tonight, but I respect that because it means that he is going to do whatever it takes to try and take home the win tonight. Especially coming out of racing with so little points. All these team destruction drivers I'm expecting to see drive at a higher bar than normal. And John Zimmer Jr. is definitely doing that right off the bat. Oh, very nice right there. Unfortunately, we are seeing some truck issues right off the bat. What a save! Those rear sway bars, or those rear sway bar arms, I should say, are hanging down. So that's going to maybe affect his drivability a little bit, since that rear end is going to be landing differently than the front end. But hopefully he's able to work through those issues. I will say a little bit of a breakage is never something that has stopped John Zimmer Jr. He will drive until he's not allowed to anymore. So I'm loving what we're seeing right now. We're seeing some true determination from John Zimmer Jr. in terminal velocity as he's looking to take home a freestyle win. Oh, we might be seeing the first backflip of the night. Into a moonwalk, John Zimmer Jr. and terminal velocity. He has really turned that wick up now. Wonderful truck control as he avoids that wall. That was really scary. I was thinking he was done right there, but he was able to get it back. Now he is done. Wow, what a crazy way to end the run. John Zimmer Jr., terminal velocity. That wheel is just completely rolling down the rest of the track. That truck is basically just parked up against that backflip ramp. What a crazy run for John Zimmer Jr. That is definitely the craziest run we have seen so far tonight. And, I mean, we're still just getting started. So this show, I mean, this is amazing. This is what we strive to do on the BeamNG circuit. I'm loving the action so far. And John Zimmer Jr. just absolutely killed it. So, fans, let's take a look at the scores now. Experts are going to give that run an 8.5. Fans are going to give it an 8.707. So that score is an 8.604, which means we have a new leader in freestyle, John Zimmer Jr., terminal velocity. Again, that score, an 8.604. Fans, I'll be right back. I'm going to go use the bathroom really quick because I want the rest of this show to go by smooth, I'll say. So I'll be right back, fans. Just give me one short second here. Alright, fans, we are back and ready to go. We have quite a few drivers left to go. By quite a few, I mean 20, so let's keep the action going, fans. We're going to move over to one of the fan-favorite freestylers, I would say, in all of the sport. One of those independent drivers that everyone knows and loves. His name is Tim Jones and Tailgater. So Tim Jones here, he gets crazy things to happen in his runs, but most of the time, and I've said this about quite a few drivers, most of the time they're not intentional. So I'm not too sure what we're going to see happen here for Tim Jones, but he's definitely going to give it his all, I know that much. Great air right there for the tailgate. Say this is a killer way to kick off the freestyle run. Great air and momentum so far, but I will say there's definitely still some room for improvement compared to what we've seen. There we go. Now he's starting to pick it up. Tim Jones and Tailgater. He's looking to take home a win here. Well, that might hurt his odds. We are seeing some truck breakage now for Tim Jones, so he now has some extra challenges to try and work through with this run. Oh man. Yeah, no, this is going to be really difficult for Tim Jones. He's going to have to really suffer through. He has a broken tie rod in the front end. He's trying to work through it. I'll say that much. He's definitely putting in this effort, but... Oh, there we go! This is what I'm saying. Tim Jones gets the crazy moments when you least expect it. And so much as just taking a little turn is enough to get that done. So, let's see what he can do, though. Great air. He's trying his best to keep his run alive despite his breakages, and I definitely got to give him some props for that. Whoa! What a save for the Tailgater machine. That is what I'm talking about. And he is going to give it another little save as he sets that truck down. So fans, let's hear it for Tim Jones and the Tailgater. 2 minutes of crazy action from that machine. I'll say it could have been better at times for sure, but he did what he could with what he had, and I think that is respectable. He tried to put on the best run possible with a truck that really wasn't agreeing with him, so gotta give him credit for that. That score to beat belongs to John Zimmer Jr. with an 8.604. Last call for fans scores. Looks like it is an 8.24 from the fans. Judges are going to give that run an 8, so it is an 8.12 for Tim Jones and Tailgater. Again, an 8.12. That is going to be enough for 3rd place right now. So, not a bad place to be sitting, but you definitely want to do a little bit more than that if you're looking to get up there on the leaderboard. Well, fans, let's keep things going. Coming up next, please welcome Freestyle Foley Joe Foley and Axe. Now, Joe Foley here, he is really a natural when it comes to putting on a good run, but question is, how is he going to outdo the runs we have already seen? Well, it looks like he's already ready to go here. He's got something he's eyeing. Big air for the Axe, kicking off this run. He almost rolls it over on that first hit. He's very lucky that it did not end up happening there. Oh man, he got a little bit lost for a second. I'm not too sure what that was. It's very rare to see Joe Foley really slow it down like that, but looks like he's got his momentum back going, so nice flow right now for Joe Foley. Oh man, oh, he needs to be careful right here. Up and over, and he saves it. I don't even know if that's like a save, but it sure is a recovery. Joe Foley and Ash, now he was cooking with gas. Oh, can he pull off another one? This is incredible action. Oh my gosh, he is up and over. Can he pull out another save? You have got to be kidding me. Joe Foley and Axe, he just figured it all out. He is maybe 5 wow moments deep into this run. He has had some incredible air, maybe the biggest scent of the night right there. This is incredible. I mean, he is not slowing down for anything. Great air. Oh man. This might be one of the best runs that has ever happened on the BeamNG circuit. He's going to pull out yet another one. This is incredible. It was a slow start to the run, but it did not take him long at all to pick up the pace a little bit. He is just plowing this truck into any and everything in sight. This is absolutely insane. Time expires, so anything else is just for the fans. He is now down those rear sway bars. Joe Foley, he's going to keep going for these fans. Nothing is going to stop him, but keep in mind, this is all just for the fans, whatever else happens. So, this is not for the points. And he is up and over, fans. Let's hear it for Joe Foley and Axe. 2 minutes of pure chaos, plus an extra minute just for fun, of also pure chaos. That is what a Joe Foley freestyle looks like, that is for sure. I don't even know where to start with that run. That had everything. Air, momentum, especially wow factor, crash madness. I mean, where to begin? That was incredible. Let's see now. Fans are going to give that a 9.257. Experts are going to give it a 9.25. So that score, a 9.254. Again, a 9.254 for Joe Foley and Axe. What a freestyle run for Joe Foley. That was incredible. I have never had that much fun watching a truck just burn it down before. That was amazing. But we're going to keep things going here. And we're going to throw it back over to Team Turkey. They have not really done any freestyling yet. I think they've had one freestyle and that was it. So, and I want to say it was only Matt Cody, but I could be wrong. There might have been another one in there. Might be mistaken. But regardless, it's very clear that the Team Turkey has their work cut out for them. They're going to send out Blake Granger and Musawwir Dalmatian, and he is off to a great start. Now let's not forget, Blake Granger has won a world championship in this competition before, so he knows what he's doing, but he has yet to win an all-star freestyle competition. Something we've got to keep in mind. Very nice way to kick off the run, I will say. He's going to lose his pacing a little bit there as he goes a little bit into the wall. Wow, what a send. He's going to do a full transfer. We have not seen that yet. So Blake Granger, he is going crazy. He just hit like a perfect corner that would have really worked out for him in racing if he could have done that, you know, earlier on in the night. is crazy for Blake Granger. He is showing why he is a world freestyle champion at the end of the day. Trying to get technical, maybe? I don't know. He did slow down the pace a lot right there, so I'm assuming he was going for something technical, but didn't quite work out. Regardless, he is definitely starting to get crazy right now. He's got 30 seconds on the clock. This is where he's got to start making things count. We've seen great air, great momentum, and pretty much everything in between so far. But he's not made up for the 8 wow factors that I think we saw from Joe Foley just now. Oh, this might give him a wow factor, though. Not if he's going to go onto the lid. He's going to try and pull this back, but unfortunately, that is going to do it. Granger, yep. Blake Granger, Monster Mutt Dalmatian. He's going to leave 8 seconds on the clock as he nearly pulls off the craziest move of the night. But it's not always going to work out for you there. And unfortunately, Blake Granger and Monster Mutt Dalmatian, he just wasn't able to pull off what he needed to. A little too much rear steer in that sidewall save. And that truck just couldn't get the traction it needed. Still a super fun run to watch right there. I loved every part of it. But I just don't think it was enough to live up to what we have seen previously tonight. I don't know. Take a second here and wait for those scores to come on in. Fans give it an 8.122. Experts give it a 7.75. So that score, a 7.936. Again, a 7.936 for Blake Granger, Monster Mutt Dalmatian. Well, fans, we're going to move things along here as we prepare for run number 8. It is Cynthia Gauthier, Lucas Oil Stabilizer. Sorry, I always say Lucas Oil Stabilizer. Lucas Stabilizers is what we're going for here. Now, she has 2 minutes to do the craziest move she can. Very interested to see what she'll go for here. We have seen some of everything tonight. She's revving up that truck. She's got to have something in store. Oh, she's going high speed. Oh, she's not slowing down. Oh my gosh! That might be the biggest jump in monster truck history. Oh my gosh. Fans, let's hear it for Cynthia Gauthier, Lucas Stabilizer. She just full sent it and tried to save it. That was insane. It's a 0. She didn't fill at least 30 seconds, but I gotta respect the dedication. I mean, that was crazy. Cynthia Gauthier, she just did that one for the fans. It's bad for Team Destruction. I mean, if I was on Team Destruction, I'd be kind of mad right now because, I mean, you're desperate for points and your teammate goes out there and does whatever that was, but I'm sure it was a fun ride. That's without a doubt. Definitely a creative choice, though. Well, fans, let's keep things going here. We're going to move into Brianna Mahon and Whiplash. Now, Brianna's interesting. I would say she's a very good freestyler, but not in the sense of what we have seen so far. She's a little bit more ragged edge than big air, so I'm interested to see what she'll go for here tonight. Right off the bat, we're seeing some of that ragged edge action coming through. I'm loving this ragged edge action right now. Actually, we're going to see a save right off the bat. So, Team Jersey, they're trying to pull through in freestyle right now because, I mean, let's be honest, Team Destruction has been really dominating this competition. Brianna Mahon and Whiplash, this is a great start to the run. I'll be interested to see where she's planning to find those next wow moments from and get some better air. There's another nice save, though, so she is just racking those up as this run goes on. I'm definitely loving the start to the run, but I think it could use a little bit more air. I think it has good momentum. I mean, the flow is there, but there's just not enough happening. Oh my gosh, this might be a hard landing. Sure is a hard landing. Maybe it's a good save. Wow. Incredible work right there by Brianna, Mahon, and Whiplash. That is one of the craziest saves I think I have ever seen. And the truck actually pretty much held up from it. There's something broken, but it's not a 4-link bar, so it's not going to be a shutoff. I am blown away right now. This is absolutely giving Joe Foley an axe to run for his money. She might be eyeing a backflip. She is not going to be able to land the backflip. She's just about fills the clock, though. She's going to leave only 2 seconds unfilled, so a killer run comes to a crazy end. And with that, Brianna Mahon has her own night come to an end with that crazy freestyle run. So there's really a lot to unpack there. I mean, there was some of everything that went into that run. Air, momentum, especially wow moments. That was just killer performance by Brianna Mahon, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. It's going to be close. She left a little bit of time unfilled, and I'd say she had a little bit less momentum than Joe Foley. So those are both things to keep in mind here as we await those scores for what was effectively a pretty cool freestyle run. I think we could all agree on that. Let's take a look here. Fan scores are going to come in at an 8.89. Expert scores come in at an 8.75. That means the official score tonight is an 8.82. Again, that is an 8.82 tonight for Brianna Mahon and Whiplash, giving it her best effort, getting a pretty high score, but leaving a little bit of time unfilled. Fans, we still have plenty of runs left to go, and coming up next, it's John Gordon, Bad Company. Now, John's coming out here. This is his first Monster Jam Stadium freestyle run in quite a while, so I'll be interested to see what he goes for here. He had some great performances on the Fall Brawl series, so if he can keep that up, I think that's what will really bring him some success tonight. Great air and some crazy ragged edge moves right there, so right off the bat, John Gordon and Bad Company is going crazy. I'm definitely loving that. He's not even, just barely over 30 seconds into this run, and we're already seeing this great action, so that's what I always love to see from this guy. I'm liking this air as well, so there we go. Hang time for Bad Company. This truck is holding up very nicely as we are officially halfway into this freestyle run. I'll say I'm liking the consistency. I think it needs a little bit more meat to it. I think it has air, it has momentum, but it doesn't really have... There we go. There's some more good air, but I'm not really seeing the wow factor so far. He might be eyeing the backflip ramp right here. Yes, he is. So that is a backflip on the board now for Bad Company. That's going to boost his score. And once you have your backflip done, you can really start to pick up the pace. And there we go. There's some picking up the pace for John Gordon. Let's see what else he can do here. Oh, this might be a full transfer. Oh, he's going to hard case it. If this truck can come back, let's see. Clock is paused at 6 seconds. It does come back around. Super nice stuff right there for John Gordon. Let's see if he can get this back. He is refired. He has 6 seconds left. Time will resume when he hits the next obstacle. It looks like he did have some breakage occur on that last move. That rear right axle is no longer moving. But it's not going to stop him. Oh my gosh. That's going to stop him. Oh, that is going to stop him. Fans, let's hear it for John Gordon, Bad Company. Well, that is, that's definitely never how you want to end a run. He breaks a tire off and in the process breaks probably 3 full rows of seats here in Camping World Stadium. So, tough break for John Gordon. I'll tell you what, it was pretty cool. Probably also pretty expensive. Let's get those scores locked in for that one crazy freestyle run we just saw. That score to beat belongs to Joe Foley, who had a 9.254. Let's keep that in mind. 9.254 is that score to beat. Alright, here we go. Experts are going to give that an 8.5. Looks like fans are going to give it an 8.677. So that score, an 8.589. Again, that is an 8.589 for John Gordon and the Bad Company. It's not going to be enough for that top spot. So right off the bat, Team Destruction had some great runs, but Team Turkey didn't take too long to start getting some high scores themselves. And really, I'd say this freestyle is pretty balanced, and if it stays this balanced, then Team Turkey's going to stay on track to end up winning the overall tonight. Fans, let's move into that next freestyle run. Coming up next, it's Colt Stevens, Thunder Roars. Colt Stevens, a world freestyle champion. He is not afraid to do what it takes to win. Here in freestyle, he gets started with some big air. He might have outdone Cynthia Gauthier, and he also drives away from it. That is how you're going to get a freestyle run kicked off right. And he's going to just go in for some more full send action. It's very lucky that this truck is holding up after that first... Oh, well, guess I spoke too soon. The truck held up for quite a while, but it didn't take too long for Colt Stevens to have some breakage occur. That front left tire... or tie rod, sorry, has snapped. Or the front tie rod is snapped, and now the front left tire is just got a mind of its own. So, be interested to see here what Colt Stevens can do. As he looks to get this run started. Very nice. Actually, he's not even at the stage of getting this run started anymore. He's already a full minute in. This run has been flying by, just I guess because of how fun it's been to watch, but he's definitely struggling with that truck breakage, and since he has that broken tie rod, he also can't attempt a backflip, so I'm not too sure what he's able to do here. Gonna go in for a save, but that breakage gets the best of him. He's gonna end with 43 seconds left on the clock. He went in for some great stuff in that run. I mean, he tried his best to keep the momentum and the action high, but unfortunately, once that breakage got in the way, there's just not much he can do. I mean, if you're trying to save it, and the one part of the truck that you need to save it isn't cooperating, the odds of you saving it go pretty much down the drain. So, Colt Stevens, he's going to have some rough luck right there. Unfortunately, an early end to what was effectively a pretty cool run. Big air, good momentum, some saves, but also that early end from that Crash Madness. Experts are going to give it a 7.5. Fans, let's see that fan score. We're going to add up those fan scores that were given. We're going to average them out. Let's see. Fans give it a 7.951. Experts give it a 7.75. So that score tonight for Thunder Roars, a 7.851. 7.851, not enough for that top spot. So Colt Stevens and Thunder Roars gives it his best effort tonight, but those truck breakages are going to get in his way. Well, fans, we're going to move into that next run. This officially marks the halfway point. After this run comes to an end, we are officially going to be halfway into freestyle, so this is where things are going to get interesting. The bar is already set high, and now all of these 13 remaining drivers are really going to have to put in the work to try and raise it further, and Cole Bernard is one of those 13. And here he goes, he's getting started. Great air, I'll say that. I'm loving the way he's kicking off this run. I have really no complaints in this first 15 seconds. His air is great, and he had perfect momentum going from one hit to the next, and he's keeping that alive. So, Cole Bernard is one of those guys who, you know, his truck won't always cooperate with him, but when it does, he will put on 2 minutes of a great freestyle, and a save like that is definitely confirming what I've been saying. Hard side slap right there, and he's going to recover very nicely. Great air right there as well, so I'm loving all of this action from Cole Bernard in the Black Pearl. He is just getting nice. He's staying on the ragged edge while also staying perfectly in control. It's really an art. It's like an art form that Cole Bernard has mastered, and I'm loving to see that coming to life here. And he's actually going to go for a backflip pretty early. I wouldn't say early actually. He's 50 seconds left in the run, but I wasn't expecting it quite yet. So some nice action coming in here for Cole Bernard. Now he's got 30 seconds to basically just do what? What was that? What a move! A barrel roll for the Black Pearl. Now he has 20 seconds to just do whatever he wants and burn it down. And, well, I'd say doing a perfect barrel roll is a great way to try and raise your score a little higher. Cole Bernard, he is, oh my gosh. He is save after save right now. Time comes to an end as he is just looking to give this run one more crazy push. But whatever he does now is just for you fans. Full send from the Black Pearl. Ouch, and that is gonna do it. Let's see here. There it is. That front 4-link bar is toast. What a freestyle, man. Air, momentum, certainly wow factor. Great saves, a little crash madness. I mean, there was everything you could ever ask for, all in that one freestyle run. And that's what I'm talking about. I mean, you want to talk about what a winning run looks like? How about having literally everything that a Monster Jam freestyle should have? Absolutely incredible work from Cole Bernard and the Black Pearl. Very interested to see how these scores come out for that freestyle run. Experts are going to be giving that a 9.25. Again, that is a 9.25 from the experts. Fans are going to give it a 9.108. So that score, a 9.179. So close, man. I can't even lie. I wanted to see that run take the lead, but Joe Foley's run was so excellent. It was bound to be super close. And, I mean, I think a second place for Cole Bernard is perfectly fair, but, man, just what an awesome run that was. That was incredible. Well, fans, that was half of freestyle. Half of freestyle is still just now coming your way. So I hope you're ready, because we have half an hour of action still left to come. And coming up next, it's Cody Saucier, Dragon. That Dragon is breathing fire, and Cody is off to a great start in this freestyle run. Great air right there as well, so I'm definitely liking this action so far. Now what can he do to raise the bar for himself? I mean, because Cody's not known for freestyling, so he's got to push himself. You think, how are you going to push the bar higher? Well, you also have to think, how are you going to push your own bar higher? And Cody's kind of fighting with that right now. He's not known for freestyling, and he needs to become known for freestyling. He's going to have to figure out how he's going to make that happen. There we go. Good air. Oh my gosh, this might do it. Oh, he's back. Look at that. Oh, and breathing fire. That is what I'm talking about. Cody Saucier and Dragon. He's still got half the time left to go, by the way, fans. This is just getting crazy right now. So Cody, you can tell he's really pushing himself as he tries to put on a great run. It's already backflip time for this guy. Beautiful work. Cody is just going at it right now. Oh no. Oh! Oh! Can he? Wow! Cody Saucier and Dragon. That was an endo that was very close to being a front flip. Like, I'm sure there are some fans that would consider that a front flip. He is just, oh my gosh! This is insane! He's just, at this point, I think he's just trying to see how many times he can roll this truck over before it breaks. Time now expires. Anything else is for the fans. And he is gonna give it one more big rollover tonight as he brings that run to an end. What a freestyle by Cody Saucier. Every single run that comes out here raises the bar. I don't know how they're doing it, but these drivers are just consistently raising the bar higher and higher and higher as these competitions go on. This is just crazy to me. This has effectively been one of the craziest freestyle competitions in Monster Jam history, and there's still 11 drivers left to go. Experts are going to give that a 9.25. Fans are going to give it an 8.957. That score is a 9.104. That is enough for third place. Again, a 9.104. I think it's a little bit of a low score, but I can understand where it's coming from there. Cody Saucier giving it his best effort, but it is not going to be enough. Man, fans, this has been a crazy freestyle competition. We still have quite a few left to go. Coming up next, Team Tomfoolery's own Mike Pagliarulo and Excalibur. Man, Mike really has made a name for himself in the freestyle competition. He's pretty similar to Joe Foley, I think. Not the best in racing, decent in skills, and absolutely killer in freestyle. I think that is something that most Monster Truck fans would agree on there. As Mike Pagliarulo gets a very interesting start to the run. And look at this, he's balancing it now. Killer balancing out from the Excalibur through right now. That was a close one. That truck actually almost rolled, but Mike knows what he's doing wheeling this truck. He got stuck right there, which is interesting. Maybe the rear steer is not working properly. He's having trouble with flow, so my guess is something may be up with the steering, but he's very quickly picking up the pace again, so there's clearly not a lack of heart. I think there's definitely some troubles maybe playing into this. Regardless, though, some great airs keeping things going for Excalibur, so I'm liking it. Look at this, he is just digging into every obstacle on this field. I mean, this is crazy for Mike Pagliarulo. Huge air. Nose is down hard, but truck holds up once again. It's been a story of this freestyle run. Is crazy things happening, and the truck somehow keeping it alive. Backflip to moonwalk for the Excalibur machine. That's what I'm talking about for Mike Pagliarulo. He's going to pull out, yes, he is going to pull out another save. I was getting worried in the middle of saying that he wouldn't be able to do it, but he sure did. And now he just has 15 seconds to let loose out here. It's a great run, but it's hard to compare to the other ones because I think the momentum has just been so much less. And although he's had the wow moments, they've just not been as consistent. And that is going to do it for Excalibur. A little bit of breakage coming into that last landing as he brings it to a close. And the Team Tomfoolery camp is officially at a wraps here in the 2025 Thanksgiving All-Star Challenge. Fans, I'll tell you what, that was a fun run, but I think the lack of consistency is going to hurt it. Not that there was any times where it was bad, but it went from fast to pretty slow quite a few times. And I think that just isn't really going to agree with the scores, but you never know. We'll see how the scores end up looking. Keep in mind that score to beat still belonging to Joe Foley with a 9.254. Again, a 9.254. Fans are going to give that freestyle run an 8.6. Experts give it an 8.25. So Mike Pagliarulo is going home tonight with an 8.425. Again, that is an 8.425 for the Excalibur. Not a super huge score, but definitely not the lowest score either. So, a nice, respectable place for Mike Pagliarulo to be. Well, fans, let's keep things going. Let's toss it over to one of the best freestylers in the sport right now, Zack, Garner, and Wildside. And Zack is one of those guys who is willing to tear up the truck, even if there's no points on the line. I mean, he will tear that truck in half, even if it's just some random postseason event in the middle of nowhere. That is why Zack Garner is so fun to watch. He is truly in it for the love of the sport, and I think that's what determines a good driver from a great driver. So Zack Garner and Wildside ain't wasting no time as we get started here. Huge air right there. Be able to set that down. Now Zack, he will find something crazy in his runs one way or another. I think I would like to see a little bit more coming through for this run, but thus far it's off to a good start. Nice wheelie right there. Oh, there we go. Oh, there we go. Oh, nice. He's gonna actually, oh, he might. Fans, look out, Zack Garner's got something in mind. He is full speed ahead. He just absolutely sent it. You saw what Cynthia Gauthier did. You saw what Colt Stevens did. He said, let me try it out. Unfortunately, he's going to suffer some truck breakage, so no backflip in this run, and it's going to go over early with 32 seconds left unfilled. So Zack Garner and Wildside, he gave it a good effort, but unfortunately, not really too much you can do once that truck breaks. It looks like he had really been ready to turn the wick up, and I was excited to see what he would do with that, but I mean, once the truck is over, it's over. Not much else you can do. Still, we are seeing so much killer action coming through, but there's still a lot of room for improvement, I believe. And I'll be interested to see where that really comes through for a majority of these drivers, because there's still a lot to be said and a lot to be done to improve these runs. So, I don't know. We'll see how things go as we prepare for that next driver coming up. So, a great run for Zack, Garner. Just because of the lack of time completion and a bit of lack of creativity, experts give it a 7.75. Fans are going to give it an 8.499. So the score tonight, an 8.125. Again, an 8.125 for Zack, Garner, and Wildside. Well, fans, we still have a few drivers left to go. Let me actually do a quick count here. 9 competitors are still left to hit the floor. This is where things are going to get crazy. Fans, I hope you're ready, because we have a veteran coming up next. It's John Zimmer Sr. Uproar. John Zimmer Sr., he has such a decorated career driving monster trucks, and he is kicking things off with a slap wheelie. So, some nice classic action from John Zimmer Sr. I like to see drivers from the older eras do moves that were iconic in the older eras, and John Zimmer Sr. in Uproar is going to be doing that right now. So, right off the bat, I'm liking what we're seeing here. I think the air could be better, but I'm loving these technical moves. He did like a little wheelie pirouette earlier. I didn't commentate on it, but it looked pretty cool. So, a killer way to kick off the run. He's definitely getting good air, but he's just not getting a ton of build-up to the ramps, and I think that is what's stopping it from being great air. There is a difference between being good and being great. There we go, though. He's picking it up. He was one of few drivers to actually end up on all fours at the end of his maneuver in the best trick competition. Although he was only able to get 5th place out of 6 drivers, so it didn't work out quite well for him, but still respectable. He's trying to make something happen here, but it's really hard unless you're pushing the truck all the way. And I can tell watching this run that I don't really think he's doing that. So he's got about 35 seconds left to go. He's eyeing the backflip. Under rotates it, but a nice save is going to get it back for him. So there's something to pick up the pace a little bit. Now that the pace is picked up, he's just got to keep it up. And I think that's something he's struggling with here. This might help him out, though. A nice save for the Uproar. So evidently, John Zimmer Sr. is trying to do something here to get these fans on their feet and get his name on the scoreboard, on the leaderboard, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. He's throwing him into some donuts here as this run comes to an end. Oh man, he's going to rip off a tire in the process. Let's hear it, fans. John Zimmer Sr. and Uproar. 2 full minutes completed, so that's going to be worth some points. Good air and momentum, that's worth some points. Good wheelies, that's going to be worth some points. A couple nice little saves in there, that's also some points. But the point, get it? The point still stands that I think there was a lot to be desired in the momentum department, and it could have been a little bit more of a loud run, in the sense that I think it was lacking some wow moments that could have been there. Experts are going to give that run an 8. Fans give it an 8.399. So that score is going to be an 8.1. Sorry, this is a weird one. It is an 8.12 flat. Sorry, an 8.2 flat. Yeah, this is a really weird score. It is an 8.2 flat tonight for John Zimmer Sr. and Uproar. He gave it his best efforts, but it's not going to be quite enough, as he still had a pretty nice, fun run. Well, fans, let's make it over to your next competitor. We have 8 left to go. That is 1/3 of the field, so we are starting to near the end now, and this is where drivers are really going to have to start going all out. As Armando, Castro, El Toro Loco is up next, and he's going crazy at the start of the run. Man, they don't call this guy the Crazy Bull for nothing. Right off the bat, I'm loving it, but I'd like to see what he can really figure out with this run. In the sense that, oh my gosh! Well, right off the bat, we're seeing a killer wow factor, but it's also going to be some truck braking, so he's got to really figure out what he's going to do with the rest of this run. He can do a backflip, so that's going to hurt him. And now his rear end is just going to be doing whatever it wants, so that's especially going to hurt him. He's not slowing down, though. Oh my gosh! Oh, that's done. Man, that truck just rolled over clean into a spot where he would have no room to save it. And unfortunately, there's just no saving that. Armando, he basically parked it into the wall. But not into the wall, into the hole in the wall, I should say. Very impressive way to end the run, but also an unfortunate way to end the run because I know that's not how he wanted his night to come to an end. Armando is very much a guy that likes to push the envelope, and that was not really a way to do it. So, a cool run, I should say a run with some cool moments, but overall just not up to par with what we have seen. He's going to leave 63 seconds unfilled, so he does qualify for a score. But the question is, will it be a great score? Will it be a mediocre score? Will it be a bad score? Well, there's a lot to be wondered in that department, because he did leave a little bit to be desired. The experts are going to give it a 6.75. Fans give it a 7.433. That means the score is a 7.092. Again, a 7.092 for Armando Castro, El Toro Loco. I'll tell you what, Team Destruction has a lot of very high scores on the board compared to the amount that Team Turkey has on the board. So, statistically speaking, Team Destruction is in a very comfortable position in the sense that they could very easily be looking at that overall win, but they just have to stay consistent. There's only 2 drivers left for Team Destruction. Team Turkey still has 5 left to go. So, Team Turkey has some room to make up their losses, but Team Destruction is definitely looking pretty decent at the moment. Well, fans, let's move into that next competitor from the Gravedigger camp. Bad to the bone, it's Adam Anderson, Gravedigger the legend. This is a run I'm excited to watch. This is the last Anderson run you will see tonight, so you're not going to want to miss out on this one. Great air kicks off the run. So right off the bat, Adam Anderson says, okay, well, you can all have great runs, but I know exactly what it's going to take to get a better run, and I'm sure he is ready to do that tonight. Adam Anderson is one of those guys that really will do whatever it takes. And so far, he is definitely on course to do that. Nice save right there. That was a little bit scary. I thought he was going over quite a few times, but I think he's actually going to be able to keep the truck in line here. Oh, well, that's not good for Adam. He's going to leave 72 seconds on the clock as that wheel's going to come clean off. We'll allow most breakages to keep going. The 2 things we shut off are 4-link bars and tires coming clean off. Because, I mean, there's so many moving parts in the axles and stuff like that that it's really not safe to let a truck keep going in that condition. So, tough break for Adam Anderson. No Anderson wants to go down like that. Adam is no exception. And, I mean, I'm sure he's going to be driving with a fire at the next show we see him in now because, I mean, I'm sure he's not very happy with that performance. But Regardless, point stands, Team Turkey is not doing great right now in freestyle. Experts are going to give that run a 6.75. Fans are going to give it a 7.002. So that score, a 6.876. Again, that is a 6.876 for Adam Anderson and Gravedigger the Legend. Fans, we're officially down to 6 runs remaining. That is 1/4 of the field. There's 4 left for Team Turkey, 2 left for Team Destruction. So the stakes are really very high right now. And we're just going to move things along. Coming up next, Bari Musawwir, Zombie. Bari is one of those guys that will put down a killer freestyle. No matter what day of the week it is. Looks like he's ready to do that here tonight. Bari gets started with one of the biggest sends of the event. That is what I'm talking about. So Bari immediately is taking that big air route. And I mean, I love that. That is what's really going to pay off. So Bari not wasting a second of his time, or our time for that matter. He is just going at it. I always respect that Bari is not afraid to just go huge. And speaking of go huge, that is what it looks like to go huge right there. So a great way to kick off the run for Bari. He's still got 75 seconds left to go. I mean, this run is just coming together so naturally, and I love that. Huge air right there as well. So Bari Musawwir, it's like, you know, it's oh my gosh, a nice stage. It's a matter of trying to find your pace and then maintain it. Well, I'll say Bari is doing a great job at that. This has been one of the most consistent runs of the night. What do you call that? I mean, I know you call it a save, but it wasn't a sidewall or a pirouette or a one-tire move. That was just insanity. Like, I can't think of a single other way to describe what is happening right now. Bari wants to win. That is my takeaway. This is absolute insanity. The past 30 seconds of this run have been the best 30 seconds of this show. Hands down, it's not even a question. This is incredible. Joe Foley has got to be sweating bullets, because I don't think his 9.2 is going to hold up to this freestyle run. Bari Musawwir is just sending this truck into any and everything in his path right now. Time has now expired, so anything else here is just for fun, but I mean, come on, this is one of the best freestyle runs I think I've ever seen. Oh my gosh! Crash madness as Bari brings that performance to a close. Absolutely unbelievable. That has to be the best run that we have seen all night. Unreal. That was incredible. A couple of the best saves, I think, in Monster Jam history. You take that and you pair it with great air all throughout the run, great momentum all throughout the run, some crazy crash madness sprinkled throughout the run. I mean, that was just incredible by every single standard I could ever think of. So let's take a look at the scores. Experts are going to give that run a 9.5. Fans are going to give it a 9.489. The score for Zombie, a 9.495. Bari Musawwir is your new leader in freestyle. Again, that is a 9.4. 9.485. Or sorry, 9.495. So a very, very high score. Bari Musawwir is your new leader. Team Turkey is back on top in the standings of this competition. Well, fans, this is getting crazy. We're officially down to the home stretch. There are very few freestyles remaining, but that means that the runs that are left are going to be pretty crazy. Coming up next, please welcome Bryce Kenny, Monster Mike. Bryce Kenny, man, this is crazy. He has had so much insane stuff. He has to follow up, and he's going to kick it off with some killer airs. I mean, he's seen what he has to do, and full sends like that is exactly it. So, Bryce understood the task at hand. He's going to take up the task at hand, and he's going to get started with some great, crazy wow moments. So, this run did not take very long to get exciting. Bryce knew what it was going to take, and he was not afraid to go for it. Looking like a broken sway bar arm, but I think that is the last of Bryce Kenny's concerns right now. I think his number one concern right now is just to absolutely burn it down for the next minute and a half. And I think he is ready to do that. Oh, technical maneuver. There we go. Oh, this might bring it to an end. Not in Bryce Kenny's books. He saves it. Unreal. So he saw what Bari did. He said, I'm going to one-up every single thing that has happened in your freestyle run one way or another. Now, we haven't seen a save quite as crazy as Bari's yet, but this air has been great. This momentum has been great. We've seen some good technical maneuvers. I mean, this is just incredible. Bryce Kenny, he is putting down a winning quality freestyle run, but he only has 40 seconds left, and I think he still has a little bit more, and he has to find a way to fit in here. Great action, a hard landing on that wing. The truck holds up somehow. That body is trying to still tag along, but I mean, it's not on anymore, so it gets sent into oblivion instead. Backflip time for the Mutt. Beautiful landing. Oh, he's going in for number 2. Nails both of those backflips, and that is going to do it for the Monster Mutt. He fills time, but that second backflip just murdered the suspension in the front end. That is not how you want your truck to be looking. Well, you know what? It was a killer run. I think there were some things that were better than Bari's run. I think there were some things that were not as good as Bari's run. So, I'll be very interested to see how that goes over with the scoring, because there's a lot of directions to go with this freestyle run. I mean, there was a lot that went right. There was some that went wrong. All in all, very intriguing stuff. But at the same time, absolutely killer. I loved every part of what we just saw from Bryce Kenny. Score to beat belongs to Bari Musawwir, who put down a 9.495. Experts are going to give that run a 9.25. Fans are going to give it an 8.803. So the score tonight, a 9.027. Again, a 9.027 for Bryce Kenny and Monster Mutt. Not going to be enough for that top spot. Fans, we're officially down to the last 4 runs. The next 3 runs are all going to be Team Turkey, and then Team Destruction is going to come out here and give it the final run of the night. This is where things are going to get crazy. Coming up next, please welcome Chris Kohler, Mahon. Chris Kohler, he has had such a great year. He won the LCQ on the circuit. Then he went ahead and won the Fall Brawl Series for his Division Series East. Now he has the opportunity to come throw it down in the All-Star Challenge, and he is very much in the runnings for the overall event win. So, Chris Kohler, man, he is just having such a great season, and to have a good freestyle run right now would be a great way to almost cap it off. But obviously, he's ideally looking to win that Christmas special. Running out of room right there, but he's going to keep it alive, so I'm liking that. Oh my goodness, this is going to be crazy. What a save for Chris Kohler. So that was a very close call there, but he knows exactly what it's going to take to get that truck settled back down. And now he just started getting crazy on the ragged edge, so I'm liking what we're seeing from Chris Kohler in the Mayhem machine. Huge air! Wow, it took me a second to even acknowledge how big that air was, and he is on a technical maneuver. Man, I love watching Chris Kohler behind the wheel in freestyle. He just has so many crazy tricks up his sleeve every time. And a technical combination like that is exactly what we were looking for. He's got about 30 seconds left on the clock now. What can he do to try and maximize on the crazy things that he has done in this freestyle run? A backflip, there we go. He might also be going in for a second one. So Chris Kohler Mayhem, he's actually going to directly take a trick out of his previous competitors' books and go for a back-to-back flip. Because I mean, it worked out before. Why not try it himself? Oh my gosh. Oh! Let's hear it for Chris Kohler and Mayhem as he absolutely stuffs it into that ramp. What a crazy way to end out the freestyle run. I mean, he had everything going for him. I think there could have been more momentum. I'll say that. Everything was really cool, but there were a couple rooms for improvement. Regardless, very fun run. Huge air, great action. A lot of compliments to Chris's run. But I don't know if it was the best run we've seen. Experts give it a 9. Fans give it an 8.99. So that score tonight is an 8.995 for Chris Kohler and Mayhem. Not enough for that top spot. Well, fans, this is one of those sports that I guess you could say is like father, like son. Because coming up next to the track, please welcome the one and only Mr. Excitement, Jim Kohler and Avenger. Whoa, not sure why that Halloween screen popped up for a second, but let's focus on what matters. Mr. Excitement himself is coming out for freestyle. Huge air for Jim Kohler. He perfectly downsized. That is probably the best start to the run that we have seen all night and that we ever will see. That was incredible. You know, the name Mr. Excitement is not a lie. Jim Kohler very much is Mr. Excitement. This is amazing. I mean, come on. He's just now getting into that 30-second filled spot, and we've already had the best air of the night on several occasions in this run. Uh-oh. Who am I kidding with that uh-oh? It's Jim Kohler and Avenger. He'll find a way to save it. What a killer freestyle run that Jim Kohler is putting down right now. That front hood is caved in. I don't know why I said front hood. There's only one hood possible. Man, this is incredible. This is why Jim Kohler is a fan favorite. He's going for the mini flip. Oh, is he going for a second? Man, that is something you will never, ever see in this sport. 2 8-pack backflips by Jim Kohler and Avenger. That is incredible. Full sends it once again, and the hood just comes clean off on that landing. What a save! Yes! Unbelievable Jim Kohler and Avenger. This is incredible work. Full sends it once again. This is amazing. Time is expired for Jim Kohler. Anything else is just for the fans, but this is amazing. This is just killer. This is a killer freestyle. I don't know what else to say. Jim Kohler might be finding himself in a spin cycle now. What they used to call it, at least. Some great cyclones for the Avenger machine. Take a look at this by Jim Kohler and Avenger. He is just letting that truck spin. Unbelievable. You never see donuts like this in Monster Jam anymore. Not unless it's Jim Kohler and Avenger on the track, because this is Mr. Excitement himself, and he will do things that nobody else will. Look at this! I mean, this outdoes Tom Ment's territory. I don't know if we have ever seen a donut like this in competition before. This is Jim Kohler World Finals 15 coming at you right now. He is just keeping it going. I have never seen a Monster Jam truck spin so fast. This is unbelievable. Look at him go. I'm just going to stop talking and let this happen. That truck just died, fans. I don't know if you heard that. That motor just died. Jim Kohler just stayed alive on the Cyclones for so long that he blew the motor. That is unbelievable. Well, fans, that was a killer freestyle run. That was amazing. Score to beat is a 9.495 from Bari Musawwir. Experts give Jim a 9.5. Fans give it a 9.398. So the score for Jim Kohler, a 9.449. So close to that top spot, but it's going to be second place tonight for Jim Kohler and Avenger. So close to being able to get it done, man. Well, fans, on that note, there's only 2 drivers left. One for Team Turkey, one for Team Destruction. All the points that have culminated all night have led to this epic battle that we're about to see. 2 drivers who have been on their A game all night are now 1 freestyle run away from getting the overall win and heading to the BeamNG Monster Jam Destruction Series for 2026. But who's to say they can get it done? They're going to have to push their trucks to their limits and do what they can as we head into the final performances of Monster Jam Freestyle. Fans, your second to last run of the night, please welcome Tristan England, Megalodon Fire. I'm very interested to see what Tristan England can go for here in freestyle. This really isn't his competition, but I mean, he's one of those guys where you never know. Sometimes he'll just pull something out of his sleeve, and, well, he's going to have to do that here tonight. Time begins for Megalodon Fire. Right off the bat, we see some nice technical moves. Always love to see some of those. Tristan England is the driver that will always get those done. See, we're seeing another one right away. The whole body has come off the truck at this point in time. Nice save. Tristan England very much prides himself in getting these moonwalks done. So a killer performance going down for Tristan England, but I'll say the momentum's pretty bad. Air could be better. The technical moves are great. I mean, I'd say this is about what to expect from a Tristan England run. they're usually pretty underwhelming and just bare minimum. So, oh, it might come to an early end if he can't get this back. No, he's got that under control. Yeah. Great save for Tristan England. But, again, I gotta say it, this momentum is pretty lackluster. And I know that that's pretty typical for Tristan England, but I'd expect to see him picking it up a little bit more when there's this much on the line. Up and over! It is a tuna roll tonight for Tristan England. He's going to leave 16 seconds unfilled in what was effectively a kind of underwhelming freestyle, honestly. All that build-up all throughout the night for this driver who is potentially going to be able to find themselves on the big tour next year, and he just kind of wasted our time. I mean, it's crazy how Tristan England freestyle runs do that, but here we are. Score to beat belongs to Bari, Musawwir, and Zombie with a 9.495. Experts give Tristan England a 7.5. Fans give it a 8.378. The score for Megalodon Fire, a 7.939. Not enough for that top spot. Well, fans, this is it. This is the last run of the night. Everything is at stakes with this freestyle run. The overall, the winning team. I mean, there's so much on the line heading into this last freestyle run. But if there's anything to say with that, it means that this driver coming out last is going to push this truck to its absolute limits. Fans, I hope you are ready, because it's time for Tyler Menninga and Gravedigger. The last freestyle run of the night. Can he do it? Will he get her done? Well, there's only one way to find out. Tyler Menninga and Granger. 2 minutes to try and become the 2025 Thanksgiving All-Star Challenge overall event winner and make his way onto the 2026 Monster Jam BeamNG Destruction Series. A lot at stakes right now for Tyler. It wouldn't be his first Destruction Series, but there's no guarantees that he'll make it on, and that is why every single part of this freestyle run is going to be crucial to his 2026 season. He's taken every inch of this floor space to his advantage. I'm appreciating that. I think some drivers don't really do that enough, but Tyler absolutely is at the moment. Trying to get technical here. Oh! Oh my gosh! Tyler Menninga, he's starting to get creative. He just did, what, a wheelie into backflip out of basically thin air. This is great. I'm absolutely loving the action right now. As Tyler Menninga is effectively putting down one of the craziest freestyle runs I have ever seen. Look at this balancing act. What a save! So he under-rotates the backflip, ends up in a second flip rotation, and then just starts moonwalking it until he saves it. Tyler understands what is at stakes. Oh no! And he also understands that he is over on the lid with 15 seconds left unfilled. Well, it was a great run. Some of the best moments of the night came out of it. But he left a lot of time unfilled, and there was a lot that the run didn't have. I give him props for, you know, burning it down, but I just don't think that's going to be enough. score to beat is Bari, Musawwir, and Zombie with a 9.495. Will Tyler's run be enough? See, there was a few major mistakes that came out of that run, so we're gonna have to wait and see here. Last call for any fan scores, but it's not looking like we're getting any of those. So the score tonight for Tyler is, it is a 9.007. It is not enough, which means your freestyle winner tonight is Bari, Musawwir, Zombie. Well, fans, I'll tell you what. We're going to count up these points really quick, and we're going to determine both your overall event champion and your winning team. There are some big things coming up, fans. You're not going to want to miss it. We're going to take a short intermission here, and we're going to determine all of those points that you need to know. fans, it took a minute there to count up all the scores. There is quite a lot of info to unpackage here, but here's what we have. Your overall event champion, who gathered a total of 48 points tonight, is Tyler Menninga and Gravedigger. That is right. Tyler has officially found his way into his next BeamNG Monster Jam Destruction Series for the 2026 season. So this is going to be interesting. Tyler Menninga and Weston Anderson are going to be sharing the floor next year. I wonder how that's going to work with seating arrangements, because I couldn't imagine two Gravediggers on the same tour. Now, don't think the overall points chase was a piece of cake, because it was very close. While Tyler won with 48 points, Jim Kohler, very, very close second with a total of 47 points. Poor Jim Kohler was right there, but just barely couldn't get it done. From there, we saw Bari Musawwir with 44 points, and Bryce Kenny with 40 points as your other notable players. So, tough break for Jim Kohler, but huge congrats to Tyler. Oh, and Chris Kohler and Mahon had 41, so he did outdo Bryce Kenny. But here's the thing, fans. How did the points end up looking? Well, let's take a look. Team Destruction was able to get 120 points in racing, 12 points in best trick, and 152 points in freestyle, ending up with 284 points total. Team Turkey was able to grab 180 points in racing, 4 points. Whoa, I don't know where I got the number 4 from. It has nothing to do with anything, actually. 180 points in racing. My computer just had a heart attack. 180 points in racing. 8 points in best trick. And 148 points in freestyle. Here's what that means. Team Destruction ended with a total of 284 points. Team Turkey takes home the overall win with a total of 336 points, which means every single driver on Team Turkey just got a free invite to the Christmas Crush event. Huge congratulations to that team for taking it home. It was a very, very close competition just about all night long, but they stayed consistent and they were able to get it done. They also got pretty much just as many points in freestyle as Team Destruction, so pretty nice, even competition all throughout tonight. Well, fans, that's all we have time for today. Thank you all for coming out to this show. This was a super fun one, tons of action, and yeah, I can't wait to see how that 2026 season will look. We have one more show this year, the Christmas Crush event happening next month. In the meantime, I'll see you all next time with some more Monster